Oh, that's wonderful.
The only words I know to that song, which I could have thrown in, I guess, are "Old acquaintance be forgot."
Should all acquaintance be forgotten and never brought to mind?
What does that mean?
Good question. And sometimes the best questions have no answer.
Should all acquaintance be forgot? So wait, does that mean like you... Every year, all the people I know,
fuck them,
throw them in the trash,
fuck them in the ass.
Oh Jesus! Well,
sorry.
Okay, that's the opposite of forgetting them.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to Comics Covered Year-End Wrap-Up 2018.
Yeah.
This is going to be our best of comics for 2018. It's
the best episode of Comics Covered. Also,
yeah, this is a clip episode of Comics Covered. We're going to play all the best clips of us.
We talked about Flat Earth one time.
I do remember that.
I don't know. I'm sure we talked about robots at some point. We talked about penises. We talked about Batman's penis.
We did talk about Batman's penis. To be fair, everyone talked about
Batman's
was penis for a minute there. Welcome to Comics Covered year-end wrap-up here. It's been a hell of a year.
Hell of a year.
Yeah. Comics Covered is a comics and comics culture podcast today. It's going to be kind of basically mostly just about the comics.
Yeah. It's comics.
We have one non-directly comic category here.
Culture, I don't know.
Yeah. Comics media. But, yeah, if you like comics... you might like this show.
Yeah. I mean, they're already here, so they might like the show if they're already here.
To be honest, if you don't know, like, if you don't like comics, I'm a little confused why you downloaded this.
Because they love us. Because we're just the greatest people in the world.
Yes, this is a crossover fans from our other work.
Yeah. Our sister podcast.
Our sister
Mashing
podcast.
Buttons.
I have been on a different podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So, this is our best of 2018 episode. We're not doing a regular episode this week if you're a regular listener, so we're not going to talk about the books that came out this week. All the books.
One book for each of us.
Yeah, we each...
I think I had Man-Eaters #4, and what was yours?
I had Hellboy and the BPRD. I do not remember the year.
1956.
56?
Yes.
All right, sure. So we're not going to talk about those this week because there were basically none of them. We're instead, going to go through and pick some. We're going to pick some winners. We're going to make a list.
Winner.
Some lists.
Chicken dinner.
Just kind of talk over the year in comics. This is just like a vehicle for us to talk about like the stuff we liked and didn't like this year in comic books. And we're real excited.
Definitely. And we're also in the same place, by the way.
We are both in Minnesota recording together. If this sounds any different, we're in a different room than I normally record in.
Oh. We've recorded in here before, though.
That's true, we have. Yeah. Jack's here for the holidays.
Yay! I'm here!
You're here!
It's very cold. It's like 12 degrees out, and I love it. It's great. And I didn't pop my tire this time while coming into your house. So that's nice.
That is nice. Last time, we recorded that time, right? We recorded an episode?
We didn't end up recording right after that.
But we did record that. We did put an episode out.
We put an episode out. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Last time Jack visited me, he crashed his car. Not crashed. Crashed is a stretch. He popped his tire on my very icy street, and it was very fun.
It was Doug's fault because he had no warning for me at all. He tried to call me.
I tried to call him many times and text him.
Ignored him because I was mad at him.
I have no control over how icy my street is. It's terrible. Anyways, so, as I introduced you, sort of, I didn't really introduce you.
Yeah, I'm Jack.
You're Jack.
I'm a new reader still. I really am.
Yeah, I mean,
I've read a lot.
Just over a year into your comics reading experience.
I wonder if how my first year of reading comics is compared to other people's first year of reading comics. You know what I mean? I wonder if I've read a lot more in my first year than a lot of people have read in their first year of reading comics.
I'm going to go ahead and guess you're somewhere right in the middle.
Okay. On the bell end.
I'm willing to bet there are people who read a lot more than you, and I'm willing to bet there are people who have read, read a comic every few months.
God, you should see the pull at my store. So I go into my store at like 8:30 p.m. every single day because they close at 9, and I go after dinner or whatever. But my poll, I try to get everything on my poll as possible, as much on there as possible, because I don't know if it's going to be there. And then I just remove it if I don't want it the next time. I don't know if that's being a dick, but my poll has like, first of all, it's fucking huge. And then it's like, has pencil, like 20 titles that are penciled in, and then like 5 of them are crossed out, and like another are like all have lines in them and everything. It's ridiculous. They just need to print another page. Come on, Comic Bug. I'm just kidding. I love those guys. They're great.
I'm Doug.
Oh, you're Doug.
I'm Doug. That's me. And I kind of got Jack into comics just over a year ago here before we started doing this show.
Totally.
The show was kind of sort of the impetus to kind of get, I think it was motivated largely by trying to force Jack to read some.
Yeah.
You had started to read a bit.
I wanted to read it. Yeah, I read a lot.
That was actually probably a little after you had like actually started to read some weekly books.
In fact, I decided actually. I remember texting you and being like, "Hey, I should read all this stuff, and we should just start this podcast." I remember saying that.
Okay. Well, no matter who came up with this show, we.
Oh no, you came up with the show. I just said we should do it now.
Okay. Well, we just had our like year anniversary for the show, and so this is our first full calendar year, so that's also exciting.
Yeah.
We are going to pick what our not all favorites, but we're going to pick some winners for a bunch of categories that we've set up this week. So that's going to be what the whole show is.
Just a heads up, there were no good comics this year, so we're just going to spit out a few titles and whatever. Fuck them.
Was that from last year?
That was last year.
End of last year?
Vice put out an article that said there were no good comics in 2017, which I don't have much of a basis for, but I have to imagine that there weren't no good comics.
It was such bullshit. It was such fucking pretentious bullshit. Fucking pretentious iconoclasts who are just like, everything we read has to be different, and it's just like, whatever. Anyways, it was.
I mean, everything you read should be different.
Well, I just mean like
innovative, and
No, I just mean like they needed like their list to be entirely different than everyone else's.
They wanted someone to draw something with their toenails. Right?
Now that's a book I would read.
I would read the shit out of that.
All right. Let's get into this stuff though. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories here. We've got one kind of more longer form category that we're going to talk through for a large chunk of the show, and then 6 smaller categories that we're going to pick a winner in. So
argue about.
So the big category that we are going to spend a lot of time on here, that I think we're just going to start with.
Yeah.
Is best comic series.
Yes.
So
wait, do you want to tell them what the other categories are? I thought you were going to do that.
Yeah. But that one we are going to pick an ordered list of 10 between the two of us. This is going to be a comics covered list of our 10 favorite comic books.
And we'll probably be able to post that later somewhere.
Yeah. And then the other categories we've got in which we are going to, in each of these, we're going to come to a consensus. We're going to pick one winner for each of these, and there are going to be two runners up. So those categories are as follows: best short form comic, best comic writer, best comic artist, best new character, best comic movie, which is our one. We considered doing a comic TV show and decided we didn't have enough ones to talk about.
Nor did we. Yeah, we didn't watch enough.
Yeah.
I didn't really. You watched more than I did.
Yeah, a little bit. But we can just say it was Legion or Daredevil Season 3.
I forgot about Legion.
Right? Yeah.
Holy shit.
Always forget about Legion.
God.
It's such a short period of time.
I know.
Anyways, and then our final category, most disappointing comic.
Oh.
So, not all great, but we are going to talk through all these for the whole episode. You're going to get to see how the sausage gets made here.
Ooh, I like that.
I like it.
Oh.
I very much like it. So let's get right into it. So our first category, Best Comic Series.
Okay.
Also known as Best Long Form Comic. So basically, as opposed to short form comic, this is a series. It could be a mini-series. It could be an ongoing.
A story told over multiple issues.
Yeah, so it's anything longer than a single issue. The caveats for these categories are that a series has to have had at least 3 issues come out this calendar year. We've made a list of nominations here.
Yes.
And we are going to read all of them off, and then we're going to explain kind of what we're going to do after that.
Yeah.
So, Jack, do you want to read at least some of these nominees?
Let's do every other one.
Okay, all right, sure.
Okay. Starting off, we have Black Hammer, Age of Doom.
We have Paper Girls.
Gideon Falls.
Action Comics.
By Brian Michael Bendis.
Yes.
Detective Comics by Tinian the Fourth.
We have Superman.
Immortal Hulk.
Oh, and I want to specify we mean Superman by Brian Michael Bendis. Although
Tomasi was during this year.
it was a new number 1, wasn't? No, it wasn't. It actually
Superman was.
It was.
Superman was. Action Comics.
Action
was not.
Comics went to 1,000.
1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I said Immortal Hulk.
Yes. Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Killer Be Killed.
Descender.
Venom.
Thanos by Donny Cates.
Farmhand.
Doctor Strange, also by Donny Cates.
Are you going to put for every Donny Cates one? I'm just going to know. Mr. Miracle.
Batman.
Ooh, speaking of Tom King. The Wild Storm.
Baby Teeth.
Skyward.
Ice Cream Man.
Doomsday Clock.
Saga.
Captain America by Mark Waid and Chris Samney.
Dr. Star and the Kingdom of Lost Tomorrows,
Yeah,
which I forgot to write down on here.
Bastard.
The subtitle.
Justice League Dark.
Hillbilly.
Black Science.
And then this one, I'm always confused. It is written phonetically MCMLXXV or 1975.
Is that phonetically? It's not phonetically. It's in Roman
Not
numerals.
sure what I guess, yeah. As it is spelled, it is MCMLXXV, which is the Roman numerals for 1975, which I think is the title of the book.
Yeah. 7 to Eternity.
Eternity Girl.
Oh, nice Eternity. We randomized these,
we
so
did.
any of these are, Oblivion Song.
Death of the Inhumans.
Die. Shanghai Red.
Doom Patrol.
Marvel 2-in-1.
Oh, yeah. And Quantum Age from the World of Black Hammer.
Hey, there we go. So I'm going to explain how we're going to do this. We're going to go through this list, and every other one is going to sort of belong to whoever reads it. We're going to switch off and say whether every other one is going to be a lock on our secondary sort of round or a cut from the round. So basically, we're trying to, make this list a little smaller so we can make a top 10 list from it. Now, it's not totally fair. So what we have are 3 challenges. So whoever turn it is, the other person, if they disagree with the decision to lock or cut a book, gets to challenge. And I have a challenge flag right here. It's not just a hat.
It's definitely not a red hat.
I'm going to throw it, though, when I challenge.
We're going to put this right in the middle. We're both going to throw it. All right, we're going to throw down the gauntlet.
Don't throw it too far, though.
I'm going to throw it directly at the microphone, knock it over.
Oh, dear God.
Ruin all of this.
So, since I started, let's have you start with Black Hammer Age of Doom, Doug.
Oh, we're not going down the list. We're picking anything.
Oh, you're picking anything?
You can pick anything to lock or cut.
Oh, dear. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. We have this whole list here, and you can pick anything from the list.
Okay.
And you can either lock it or cut it.
Okay.
We're going to go back and forth. All right. So, let's start with the easy stuff. I'm going to start with a cut.
Okay, cut it.
Let's be harsh right up front here. want to start with something that we both read.
It's fine.
An easy one.
Okay.
Boy, none of these are easy, though, is the thing.
I have one in mind.
Okay. It's difficult.
I
It's
know.
difficult.
I think you just go, though. Force yourself.
I love Death of the Inhumans,
Okay.
but
Ass. Sorry.
a synonym. But as we'll talk about later, there were, I think we both had issues with the ending.
Well, there were 5 of them. Sorry. Issues. I'm too punny.
We had issues with how it wrapped up. And overall, I think it didn't leave enough of a lasting impression. There were fantastic moments in that book. The fucking so many great sequences and moments, especially with Black Bolt.
Yeah. What about like when they were powering the ship with his voice?
That is one of the highlights of the year. Maybe my favorite moment in a comic book this year.
And then he just says, go. And they
Yes.
just fucking shoot up into
They
space.
use him as the engine of their ship. That's so good. I love it. But I don't know that it makes it onto a final list of 10 best books.
Also, my
this
other
year.
runner-up moment from that is stealth killing with the voice.
Yes, also amazing. Also, anything with Lockjaw, where they made up this history where they were like friends
With
Beta Ray Bill.
Bill.
Beta Ray Bill and Lockjaw apparently went on adventures together. And, the fucking line where Beta Ray Bill, they're like trying to get Beta Ray Bill to agree on something, and he says, I think I'm paraphrasing a little here, but
fine.
he says like, anything I do for the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good.
Now, a lot of people got mad at that, because they thought that Donny Cates was trying to put a new advertisement for his new book or whatever, if he's going to do that. But I'm totally down for that. Why not? I want Beta Ray Bill and Lockjaw.
I thought it worked great.
To have a series.
Like, I don't think that was an advertisement for his books. Like, I thought it was an organic way to, like, if he wanted to onboard him into his new book, I thought he did it very organically. I thought it worked.
And
but
that's coming from the guy who didn't like Iron Man 2 because it was an Avengers commercial.
It's better than I remember when I went back and watched that movie.
I think it's
Anyway,
great.
sorry. Side note.
So I do not challenge. You're good.
You don't challenge that?
I don't
All right.
challenge.
So we're going to
Just
cut.
that last issue.
We are going to cut Death of the Inhumans.
Cut.
It is cut.
Okay, my turn. I'm cutting. I'm just going to come right at it. I'm cutting. Oh, actually, wait, no. I'm going to cut. I'm cutting Eternity Girl.
Oh.
Because
I'm surprised.
I liked it better than you, but I think there's too much I think there's too much here to be good about. So it's cut. It's cut. I love that book.
Okay, here's my question.
What's the question?
If you are making a top 10 list just for Jack,
No,
it wouldn't make it?
I don't think so. There's too much on here.
That's shocking to me. I
loved it. I loved the
that
art.
book.
I loved everything about it. I just think that when it comes down to it, it was at that cusp of like, I love not knowing what's going on and trying to figure out the mystery based off what they're saying. And that book was totally in there, but it was just a little too weird. Just a little bit too much to one direction. It needed to be a little bit more. It needed to be a little bit more of a clear thought, maybe.
A little bit more literal, just enough for you to kind of grasp kind of what's happening in the book.
Because I know in Magdalene Visaggio's head, I know there's so much there that I'm not getting.
Yeah.
But for me as a reader, I just didn't get it.
Yeah. And that was largely my issue with it. I actually find that super painful.
Yeah.
Because before we knew we were going to be doing a combined list between the two of us, I was super on the fence about whether I was going to put it on my list. I had a lot of issues with that book when it was coming out. Not like issues like I disliked any necessarily like things they were doing, and I just I didn't connect with it.
Yeah.
A lot, like as much as you seem to. But that is definitely a book that has stuck in my brain for sure.
Wow.
More than a lot of books this year. I don't know that I'm going to challenge you on cutting it over other books or like, I don't know that it needs to make it onto the final list.
Yeah.
Based on my experience, but I do want to, I feel like it is worth noting that even if I, didn't super connect with the book when it was coming out, that is a book that has lived on in my brain quite a bit. Like, I think about that book, you know?
I mean, it has a lot of really cool things about the universe and multiverse and ideas about reinventions of superheroes and what that does to someone if they're aware of it. Like, it's just insanity. Like, and the art was so perfectly done. Like, it was just...
Sonny Liu's art, excellent. We'll probably talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to challenge you on that, but I think it is definitely worth noting that was that was a great book.
Oh yeah,
I've come around a little bit on that book, and I really do think it is one of the best books of the year. Maybe for us, not one of the top 10.
You accidentally cut a different book.
I did cut the wrong book. We'll cut 7 to Eternity.
No,
instead, I'm joking. Okay. We'll cut Eternity Girl.
Okay,
so. We are back to me. All right. I still think we might need to stay in the cutting phase here.
Oh, really? Okay.
We're still early. We don't have enough. Let's keep people in suspense a little bit still.
Okay.
Let me look. I don't want to get brutal yet with the solo books.
Okay.
That's probably gonna come towards the middler end, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Unless people are going to start locking them.
I mean, yeah, you don't know what I'm going to do. I'm the wild card. I hold...
And I want to note that, I don't see this list as necessarily a consensus. This list. As in, you can argue hard enough to get Skyward on here, even though I'm not going to be like, well, I don't agree, and so it doesn't make it on the list.
Oh, no, we're not going to hung jury this shit.
Yeah, no. But, if either of us feels passionately enough about a book to argue it, now, how high is it going to get on the list? Yeah. That's a thing that we'll hash out. But, anyways, just wanted to note that. We don't have to agree about a book for it to get on here. It's about passion here. All about passion.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that if we had a best first issue or a best debut category, 1975, aka MCM LXXV, would be on there. Mm-hmm. But that story felt grand in a way that I thought was done a great disservice by the fact that it was so slight. It was so short.
Three issues.
We didn't realize it was going to be a 3-issue mini.
And the last issue just felt like it was trying to give you...
It just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
It felt like it was going places. It felt like we were building this mythology and we were going into this big epic story.
Totally.
And that's one of the things I loved about the book. I loved the mythology. I loved the direction and they seemed to be going with it. And then it just kind of very quickly at the end, and she kept doing it and was good with it. She learned this lesson, I guess, about so MCM LXXV is about a cabbie who also fights monsters from another dimension. Yeah. And at the end of the spoiler, have we said spoiler warning on this before?
I don't know. We haven't said spoiler
warning. We are definitely, as a best of 2018.
Yeah, we're going to have some spoilers.
We're going to be talking in specifics about the books that we have both read.
But if we start mentioning a book and you don't want spoilers about it, just
skip ahead a little
bit.
But be warned, you might catch something.
We'll try and warn.
Yeah, we'll try and warn.
We'll try and say the title before we say anything about that title.
If we forget, though, this is your warning right now. If we start talking about the story events of a book, we're probably going to talk specifics.
Yeah.
Okay. So, at the end of that book, basically the end is the monsters are still out there, and she's just kind of accepted her role as the monster hunter, which is cool.
It's nice.
But it felt a little kind of abrupt.
They could. Now, if they do more with this story, they totally could. And that'd be great. And I would love that. I think it's a great world. It's a great everything. But if it stays like this, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, I really hope they do a follow-up series. Something about it being so short makes me think they're not going to.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes you think they will do it, no?
I don't know. It's such a weird amount. 3 issues is so weird that it makes me think that this must have somehow been... I'm guessing it was just an experiment. It was an excuse for... who was that? Joe Casey?
Joe Casey.
Joe Casey and Ian McEwan to work together. And they just probably didn't have enough time on their schedules to do something longer. I don't know. I don't know the story, but it feels like there must be something there. But as it ended up, I don't think it's one of the top 10 books of this year.
I agree. Okay.
All right, it's cut.
I'm going to do an easy lock.
Okay.
I'm going to give myself an easy time. I'm locking Mr. Miracle.
Yes. Yes.
You don't disagree?
I feel like in some ways there is some sort of foregone conclusion going on here in this category, just a little bit. But at the very least, Mr. Miracle is a for sure lock.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Miracle is one of the top 10 books of this year.
Just as a complete introduction to that character for me, too. I want to read more. Like, are there any other, like, series about Mr. Miracle that are, like what have you read?
I have, like, slight experience with him.
Okay.
Reading, Kirby's New Gods stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Like, the original stuff. And then, like, mostly just appearances and other stuff. I mean, a lot of the modern, New Gods stuff is just... they show up in other books. They haven't had many solo series in the last, 30 years-ish. They've had them, but they've been very infrequent, and I don't know that a lot of them have been super well-loved.
Okay.
At least to my knowledge. But Mr. Miracle by Tom King and Mitch Gerrits...
yeah. Just the creative team along with the story they were telling. It's just insane.
They took a character who is somewhat obscure to the general, mainstream audience, and they took the classic conception of the character and they mixed it with such an amazing modern sensibility about, who would these characters actually be as people? What would their struggles be? They mixed it in with their personal. I think there's large parts of both of those creators in that book.
Yeah.
In the ideas of fatherhood and of depression, codependency and relationships and love. It's such a deep book. It's we'll leave maybe some of the hyperbole about this book maybe for the end.
Yeah, let's do that.
but
it's a lock.
This book is 100% a lock.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. Not going to challenge that.
Good.
All right. So for my turn. Okay. Let's also, we're still fairly early on here. Let's also go for another, what I'm going to perceive to be an early lock here.
Okay.
I didn't have one in mind when I said that. I'm just
dear.
looking through them. Okay. This one, I'm not 100% if this is going to be an easy one.
Okay.
But it is an easy one for me.
Okay.
Okay? I am going to lock Justice League Dark.
Yeah. I mean, wait, we're not only locking 10. This is just the second round, right? We're going to
lock as many as it takes for us to get into the end game here.
The end game?
We're going to end up none of these locks, with the challenges factored in, are necessarily permanent. We are going to end up with 10 locked books.
Okay.
It may be more than that at some point, and it may be less, and then we'll add up.
I just have to look at this a little bit, because, no, it's just so... In terms of, superhero series, which most of comics is, it's, one of the best ones. It just, for, a team superhero book...
I think that specifically.
Yes.
It's
just amazing, everyone has their own part with it. it gives obscure characters who haven't had like amazing like work done with them just this great shine. Who the fuck cares about Zatanna? I'm sorry, I love Zatanna now. When she was on Injustice, the Ultimate Edition or whatever, I was like, what the fuck is this girl doing here? I don't know who the fuck this is. But now I'm like, give me more Zatanna. Give me fucking everything. And like Wonder Woman being on that team is a great like just person. Like
it's a great kind of left turn for that character, kind of thrusting her a little bit more into the world of magic, but then also like kind of in an interesting way, like she's been thrust into a leadership role on that team. And she's not super experienced traditionally with magic, but she is a part of that world, and her kind of finding her way with that and how to lead this team is a big part of her arc in that series, at least so far. I think it's so well-rounded in a character development perspective. Like, all the characters get time to shine. They're all so interesting. They've made characters who were previously not that interesting, like, great characters. Man-Bat is a fun idea. Man-Bat is now, I think, a great character.
Oh, God, yeah.
Detective Chimp is a funny gag. Detective Chimp is a really great character in this book.
The chimpanzee drinks!
There's so much. Like the backstory stuff with Zatanna, it was probably the crossover event that delivered the most this year, The Witching Hour.
What time is it, by the way?
The Witching Hour. That was probably the crossover event, superhero crossover event that delivered the most this year. I think, so Mr. Miracle is a book that is amazing because of the way in which it totally upends what you think of superhero comics. Justice League Dark is, for my money, I think, the best, at least in terms of team books, the best superhero team book, traditional, straightforward superhero team book coming out this year. I think James Tynion IV and the various artists, especially Alvaro Martinez Bueno, on this book, have done such an excellent job of just delivering just what traditional superhero comics do best.
And a book that could have easily been Justice League Light. You know, just like, who would have fucking thought? Like, I had no interest in magic, honestly. Like, I didn't think magic was going to be that big of a deal, but it's just, you can't deny that, like, every element about this, and even, like, I'm so excited for where it's going to. There are so many elements there. Like, we haven't done much with Swamp Thing. We haven't done much with, maybe Kurt Langstrom is going to be super interested in studying something in the future, and everyone else is going to be like, don't fuck with that.
That's going to come at some point.
It's just, there's so much.
I think it says something that, like, you said you're someone who traditionally doesn't gravitate towards the magic end of superhero stuff. Or even comics in general, or
because magic,
specifically superhero books.
For me, looking at magic, I see magic as a lot of times as a cop out. Sometimes, because it's just like, we're doing this magic thing, so whatever, it works because it's magic. And I think with this book, they tell you the elements about magic. What are the limits of magic? What can we do with magic right now? What can't we do with magic? And they work with them to tell a really cool story, so it's not just this Deus Ex Machina of magic works. It's using it in a way that just drives the story and drama in. I just love it.
But what I was going to say is, I think it's telling that you, as someone who doesn't traditionally gravitate towards that, and me, like, the dark magic corner of the DC universe is maybe my favorite part of it. And it is delivering that corner of the universe for me in a way that, like, I haven't really seen in another modern book. Like, maybe since, like, John Ostrander's The Spectre. Like, I think, like, that, what it is doing for that corner of that universe is fantastic, and, like, that we both, from these totally different perspectives, really enjoy that book is a really great kind of indicator that book is on the right track.
Also, we forgot to add Magic Order to this list.
All right.
Speaking of magic,
Right.
The Magic Order by Olivia Coipel and Mark Millar.
Yes.
Mark Millar by Netflix.
I'm always confused about how you phrase that, but it is published
Published by Image.
It is, but it's like owned by Netflix. I don't know. The rights are owned by Netflix. It's published by Image.
My guess is it just means we're getting a Netflix show or movie or something.
They own the rights to it. I think he signed some sort of like first look deal with them, basically, is what it is. But,
there's another Netflix one that came out recently. What was that? Prodigy. Prodigy is another Netflix one.
Yes. Basically all of his Image books are Netflix.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so Magic Order has been added to the list, just so you know. Doug wrote it.
All right. So
I'm going.
So at least for now, we can come back. People can always come back and challenge things later. And if we have too many at some point and we've used our challenges, like that is a thing that we'll have to address. But
we'll have to address it.
Yeah. But anyways, for now, Justice League Dark and Mr. Miracle are locks.
Okay. Sorry, we touched feet just now.
How cute.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's
starting to get just a little bit hairy, and we're in the early game here.
I know. The early game. We're in Avengers 1. Maybe Avengers 2.
The opening salvo.
Ooh.
Avengers opening salvo. Okay.
Okay. I am going to cut a book. I'm going to cut
Maybe
a book.
we should do a few more rapid fire cuts.
Rapid fire cuts.
I think we need to start whittling this down a bit more.
Rapid fire cut. I am going to cut... Whoa. I am going to do a cut of... Oh, God damn it. I'm cutting Captain America by Mark Waid and Chris Samney.
Rough, but I don't know that I disagree.
It's tough because and honestly, I brought it out again because I want to reread it. Because I think you were getting something different from it than I was.
In the early issues.
Yeah, I liked it, but that was right at the beginning. That was right at the beginning for me. And I was not really aware of, like, what is it? I read Black Widow by Mark Waid and Chris Samney after I read Captain America.
Yeah, I think that when you read that, it seemed like it more solidified kind of what it should be getting out of the craft in their pairing.
Yes, exactly. Like when I read Black Widow, I was like, oh shit. Because there's this, like, at the very beginning of that first issue of Black Widow, there's this whole chase scene where it goes from inside the S.H.I.E.L.D. building and she's running out. And it's mostly silent. They, like, go into a helicopter, then she falls out with one of the guards. And it's like, holy shit. It, like, made me realize, like, what this is.
Yeah.
And then and it reminded me of this one specific scene that you picked as your panel or segment of the week, where Captain America changed into his Captain America gear, and it was like 4 panels of him just like going over a railing with empty clothing, like being floating down or whatever, and then he's like off and on a motorcycle, and I was like, why is he choosing this? But now I know why.
It's the expert, like, pitch perfect way in which the book is paced, and the way in which it is plotted for the art, and the way in which everything is structured around crafting that perfect way to visually encapsulate every moment. And I think that book, this Captain America by Mark Waid and Chris Samney, continued that.
I think some of the places that the story went afterwards,
yes,
made it a little bit less impactful. I think it would have been better if they kept with that anthology sort of issue is issue and issue.
Yes, and that's it felt like we didn't have enough of the anthology thing before we went into the longer form storytelling that they did with I don't remember who the artist was on that bit.
Well, no. They did a future thing with Chris Samney for 3 issues where they froze Captain America again, and that was still Chris Samney. But then they did then another artist was with Mark Waid for that random not Captain America story.
Yes, you're right.
Remember there was that telepathic dude that was king for a little bit, and they were like, Cap, you weren't asleep for like years. You were asleep for like a year or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like really weird.
And the way in which Chris Samney left, it always felt like they went to that 3-issue story in the future and like wrapped up their anthology thing because Chris Samney was leaving. They were like, oh shit, well, we got to do this thing we want to do with the book, where we wanted the book to go. And then he left, and then it was just like, series, that story that Mark Waid told with, again, I cannot remember the name of that artist, but
I'll look it up while you're talking.
You look that up. Like, it was great, but it made that plus the previous like 3-issue story plus the anthology stuff at the beginning didn't make up to a cohesive whole. I wish the whole thing had I wish Chris Samney had been able to stay for longer and that they had been able to just keep doing more single issue stories.
Yeah.
Because it ended up feeling a bit rushed, a bit disjointed. I think it did a disservice to it. I think those early issues are incredible in the same way that you're talking about that you appreciated Black Widow. I think you should reread them because I think you'll get something different out of them. I'm going to. But overall, I think as a series, I don't know that it stands up to some of the other books on this list. All right.
I can't find it. I'm sorry.
All right. We've cut it. I agree. I noticed one that I'm definitely, I think, going to cut. I'm going to cut Detective Comics by James Tynion IV.
I didn't read it, so I can't challenge you.
It's a great book. It's great for a lot of the same reasons that Justice League Dark is. It's a really great team book. I think it's an excellent book. It wrapped up this year, and the latter parts of that series were not its strongest. I think a lot of what was strong about that book was in the first half, or the earlier parts, and it just wasn't its strongest year, I would say. It was still a great book. I still really enjoyed it every time it came out, but I don't think one of the best 10 comics this year.
Okay. I mean, I'm
gonna sacrifice that one.
I'm gonna probably Leonardo Romero. Was that him?
Okay. I get him confused with Leandro Fernandez because I think I found them at a similar time. He does a different book, anyways.
Okay. But yeah, at some point I'm gonna borrow Detective Comics by Tynion IV from you, and I'm gonna read it. But how many issues did he run on that?
It was twice monthly, so it's a bunch.
I gotcha.
I'll find it. But
find it.
Here, you.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, I'll find it. You. Okay. Your turn.
Oh, it's my turn, anyways. Okay. Well, that's a sad one. Let's see here. Dear God. Okay, we're gonna do another cut. I'm gonna cut. Jesus.
James Tynion did. Oh boy, he ended on 981. Oops. Well, I have to do some math. You keep going.
Do math. Okay. I am going to cut the... Oof. Did I... I think I'm going to cut...
He did about 50, just under 50 issues.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot. I'm gonna cut Farmhand.
Oh.
No, I'm not gonna cut Farmhand.
Okay.
I'm gonna do something even worse.
You're gonna do something worse?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Oh, going for the teeth here.
I'm going for the teeth.
The throat?
I think the throat, because you don't go for someone's teeth.
Yeah, I don't know where that phrase came from.
I'm cutting Cosmic Ghost Rider.
You're going for the throat.
I absolutely love Cosmic Ghost Rider. I just think that when I'm looking at this list, I think there's just too much.
Yeah.
Donny Cates had both Cosmic Ghost Rider and Death of the Inhumans at the same time, and I think Cosmic Ghost Rider was even better than Death of the Inhumans. I think it was really, really cool how he delved into this character that he introduced in his Thanos series, and just in the best ways, tugged at it and put him through a situation that made sense for him and gave him growth as a character, and also had great action throughout. And it was a completely badass, awesome series. I just think it's, I don't know. I just think it's not quite there.
I
what am I
don't
trying
know
to say? I don't know,
Yeah, it's difficult, because, I think that series was perfect for what it was.
Yeah.
But, I just don't know that it, just even in just the scale of like Donny Cates' work,
Yeah.
I would definitely put a lot of his other work this year over that.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know how to critique it. It's just, I also agree. I don't know that it was one of the strongest books this year. It was funny. It was emotional. It was, like,
action scenes were done amazingly by, what was it? Dylan Burnett and Antonio Caldala was coloring still. Like, goddamn.
Amazing art. I think, Dylan Burnett, a surprising new find for us, at least. I'm not sure what he was doing before that, but like, great, perfect art for that series.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to disagree with cutting it, though.
I remember specifically there was this 2-page splash where he was just murdering everybody that was coming back to, kill him. And it was this 2-page splash of just, in different parts, there were like different little scenes of him like fighting this person and then this person. And it was just so expertly laid out and like drawn. And it was just so clear, but so chaotic. That was a lot of what was great about that art in that series too. And it's just like, that's a sad one, but oh goddamn, yeah. I love that character. I'm so excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. It's gonna be in January.
Yeah.
Jeff Shaw.
Yeah.
Fucking Donny Cates.
Okay.
Goddamn.
All right. All right. So it's cut. All right. Let's see. It's getting tough.
I know.
Getting tough.
I think you should do some locks. No?
You think so?
I don't know. We only have 2 locks.
We only have 2, but we also have a lot of books.
We also have a lot of books.
It's getting. I feel like it's getting hard to.
I didn't realize how hard this is going to be, Doug.
It's getting hard to know what to lock, and I feel like I need to narrow the list. I'm going to do at least one more cut. At least. I mean, we have to do a lot more cuts, but for now.
Okay.
Before I maybe start locking some more stuff.
We have to.
Gerard Way's Doom Patrol is, as a whole, taken as a story, if you bought a trade right now, an excellent book, an amazing continuation of everything that made Grant Morrison and other runs of Doom Patrol great. I love it. I love it. Nick Darrington's art is so good. I love Nick Darrington's art. Again, another amazing find. It's not necessarily from this year, but that book continued to be great this year. The issues in which it showed up.
Yeah.
I hate to do this because it's so divorced from the quality of the actual work. But I really think the pace at which the issues come out, the egregious delays on that book, really did a disservice to my enjoyment of the book. And while the work itself stands...
Yeah, should we consider that, though?
I think anything factors in. Yeah. Like, while the work itself stands, I think that as our list of things that we enjoyed the most this year... I don't know that I can genuinely, honestly put it on that list because I think our frustrations with the delays really impacted our enjoyment. It impacted my understanding of what was happening in the book. Yeah. I feel like I don't have a full grasp of everything. I would pick up a new issue and I'd be like, I don't remember half the things that happened last issue.
Like, I remember at the start of Milk Wars, they were like, okay, so this is where their rocket was being sent. What rocket? We don't even know what you're talking about.
But also, that was super frustrating because I still contend, and they never came out and admitted this, Milk Wars takes place after all of the current issues of Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Multiple issues came out after Milk Wars that I think take place before it, over the course of months.
Yeah. Like 5 months, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's a frustrating book.
It's very frustrating.
And it's so much so I'm adding it
I think we already have Milk Wars on there. Really? Wow. Anyways, I added it to a future list. But,
the book, the actual content in the series is so good.
Yeah.
I don't think we had enough of it, and I think that the delays hurt it.
Yeah. And I'm so sad if they never do any, because they're probably not going to do any more.
I don't know.
Who knows? Ugh. No, I don't challenge. God damn it.
I really hope they do more because that book is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it makes it. Okay. Not to a top 10.
Okay.
Last year? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. God. Bro, man was in a Euro last year. He was in a Euro.
Yes! That book started off so good. Oh, that book is excellent.
Because what was it? Was it for my birthday that you gave me the trade?
I gave you the first trade.
Christmas or something like that? Yeah. I don't remember, but
I think it was a Christmas gift.
That was good.
Because I think it was, you came into town. No, I mailed it to you.
Wait, you mailed it to me.
That's what it was.
You mailed it to me.
Anyways. No, it was a birthday gift. I don't remember.
Anyways. It was great, though.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I have to go. I'm going to do a lock.
Okay. What are you locking?
I'm doing a lock. Doing a hard lock. I am locking... I am going to lock... I'm going to lock... I know you haven't read it, but I'm going to lock Baby Teeth.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to lock it.
You feel... Okay. That's a hard one to know if I should challenge it.
I know.
I think because I haven't read it.
Have you read anything about it? I don't know. Have you looked it up at all?
I'm aware of it. I know it's... it's all I really know is it's a horror book.
It is. The reason I'm locking it is because, yes, it's a horror book, but it's a horror book that is less... No, it's not a horror book. You know what? It's not a horror book, and that's the best part about it. It's about a mother caring for her newborn son.
Okay.
Who just happens to be the son of the devil.
Okay. So it's like an Omen thing, but
not at all. The son of the devil is not an antagonist.
Okay.
She's
just kind of trying to deal with raising that?
There's a lot to deal with.
Okay.
There are people trying to kill her baby. There's fucking places they gotta go. There are other people they have to talk to get... It's just...
Okay.
The way... I can't say enough about this book. It's almost as if done. It's almost the most like God Country that Donny Cates has done in story, at least.
Okay.
Like in terms of this crazy shit comes onto this family, and they have to find ways and people to help them deal with it. It's just, I can't say enough about it. I know it's a little shitty for me to lock a book, but they're on the list. It's not shitty. It's on the list, so I'm locking it. I feel that strongly about it. We just sent it to Samantha's cousin in Utah. She read the whole thing last night.
Okay. I don't think I can conscientiously challenge it right now.
Okay.
But I will say, if it's going to stay on the list, I would expect some bargaining to come up
that's fine.
Down the line
that's
here.
Fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. That was a swerve.
It was a swerve.
Okay.
That's a wrestling terminology.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least in terms of how much they use the word swerve.
Okay. All right. Well, if we're as long as we're on that kind of
go ahead
track here, I am going to lock a book as well, and I'm going to lock The Wild Storm.
Okay. You've told me so much about this. I so want to read The Authority. It's on that's not the tippy top, but it's so because Warren Ellis. Give me a Warren Ellis. Yeah, I need Warren Ellis.
Read either Authority or Planetary.
Planetary. I don't remember you ever saying Planetary.
It came up on Twitter recently when we were talking about Warren Ellis stuff with one of our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. He recommended that to you.
Yeah.
Or to us, and then I said I'd read it, and you said I had to read it. But
yes.
Anyways, both of those books are amazing. Anyways,
Is Warren Ellis
slightly
doing this at
sidetracked.
DC?
Yes.
Okay.
Which was a big deal because he hasn't done something at DC in a while.
Yeah.
And specifically, well, he did work at Wildstorm,
Okay.
which was before it was owned by DC.
Yeah.
It used to be at Image. But now it's DC. They rebooted the Wildstorm universe, which was its own superhero universe, and basically they said, Warren Ellis, you did the best work in the Wildstorm universe, in writing Authority, in writing Planetary is also part of it.
So should I read The Authority before Planetary?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
They're not really connected.
Okay.
They said, and Warren Ellis is the thing I think he is best at.
Yeah.
Is he takes a series, he deconstructs it, and he goes, what works here? And he rebuilds it from the ground up. It's something that he's done a bunch. It's kind of become his thing at Marvel now. It's what he did with Moon Knight. It's what he did with Karnak. It's what he did with the Wildstorm universe. He built a whole superhero. It's not even really superhero. It's like espionage, conspiracy, aliens, superheroes, spies. Like it's so good. It's everything that's good about the dialogue and plotting and everything of a Warren Ellis book that you haven't honestly really seen yet.
Yeah.
You've really only read a book we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Which wasn't super great, but it's everything I want in a Warren Ellis book. It had a really strong year this year in particular. We're kind of getting really into the thick of that series. It's a 24 issue series.
Yeah.
And we're nearing the last quarter here. We're in we're nearing the end game. How many times are we going to reference that this episode?
I have no idea.
But it is an excellent, excellent book. And, if I was making a list, it would be towards the top of my top 10 for this year.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Right. So we have as locks right now, Mr. Miracle, The Wildstorm, Baby Teeth, Justice League Dark. We have 6 more slots.
Okay.
So maybe
I'm going to cut some. Yeah, you're right.
Well, maybe it would be easier just to start locking more.
I feel like that's...
Okay. If we need to narrow it down more, let's cut some more. But I think we maybe need to be a little more ruthless and expedient about the cuts.
Okay. I'm cutting Shanghai Red. One of the things I know you didn't read it, but you should read it. I loved about that series is the art. I think is wonderful. I think that the kind of story it is great. I wish that story would be an ongoing as opposed to it seemed that it's going to end after this 5-issue thing. What I expected that series to be was this, it's going to start with this woman's revenge tale, and then it's going to go to places while they're on the ship and become basically a pirate book. But it didn't. And that didn't seem to be the idea behind any of it. So it gets a cut, but I still would recommend that book to anybody because I think it's a really cool thing that I haven't seen in comics yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, so I'm gonna I'm going to trust you at your word here.
Have you read a Christopher Sabella book?
I have not. I don't think. If you read it and you don't think it makes it, I trust your judgment.
Okay.
So let's see. I'm between 2 books here. I am going to cut. Oh, it's painful.
Just do it.
It's painful. I am going to cut Quantum Age.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's
especially because recently it's been
excellent.
I can't challenge that.
I'm just looking at some of the books on this list.
No, I know. It's
getting to the point now where I don't even I can talk.
I know you wanted to start walking because you don't want to cut them.
Well, I have no more caveats for a lot of these books. It's a great book. It's great. An excellent book. It's such a great kind of play, play on the what are the Legion of Superheroes kind of
Yeah.
trope that like kid superheroes in the future, but then we're like jumping forward, it's all gone wrong.
Yeah.
Like them kind of when they're older, plus like some new characters who kind of want to be a part of the team.
And then them seeking the help of the old, like, kind of the old, like, guard of people.
Yeah, it's a great extension of the Black Hammer universe, the ways in which it's recently tied into the main core book. Like, it's a great book. I'm looking at some of the remaining books, and
I know.
I don't know that I could put it on over if I had to pick 6 of these other books. If I had to pick 10 more of these other books, I don't know that I could honestly put it over any of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's painful, but
know.
they're all going to be painful now, so.
They're all going to be painful for me. Oh, dear. I'm gonna lock.
You're going to lock a book.
I'm gonna lock it. No, I'm gonna cut a book.
You can lock a book if you want to lock a book.
No, I'm gonna cut a book.
What are you going to cut?
I'm gonna lock a book. Sorry.
Okay.
I am going. I'm gonna cut Doomsday Clock. I'm gonna cut Doomsday Clock.
I need to hear an argument. I really need to hear an argument for Doomsday Clock.
I'm cutting Doomsday Clock because I think when I look at the rest of the books, I think you can argue that some of the stuff in the middle, no matter how good it is, gets a little meandering. And I think that it could have been better served. I can't say it's bad in any way because it's great. I just think it got a little meandering in the middle there. I think that a lot of these other ones have really special things about them, really new things about them. It's really new too, though. I just think that...
But I could see an argument for it not being new. I mean, it's a mashup.
It is. And I love that book. I love that book. I think that other ones did really, really cool things this year that I would put over Doomsday Clock. But it's also one of the ones that I'm most excited for every single time it comes out. But that's also because it only comes out every 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's also one that has been kind of hurt by delays. Not to the degree that Doom Patrol was.
Not to the degree whatsoever.
Not at all. It's not, it's still consistent. It's every 2 months now.
And what's harder for me, too, is that I reread all of it in order, and it was so much better on read-through. But it also tells me that if it was so much better that way...
It's being hurt by the
It's being hurt by
space.
that. And if we're taking that into account, I just decided to do a hard thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm really considering using a challenge, but... I love that book. I think ultimately I'm going to allow the cut for now.
For now.
I don't know that it's going to make it back on to the list.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was your virus detection.
oh, that was my laptop. But
You get what I mean, though.
I do.
I love that.
I think that this book is something that definitely was best in the beginning, and it is starting to really get where it's good. Yes, it did meander a bit in the middle there. I think in the end, that stuff is going to all come together.
But the meandering is mostly feeling meandering because of that.
Because of because of how long it's taking to get there. It is tough. It's tough reading like backstory issues when it's a book when that comes out like every 2 months with further delay sometimes on top of that.
Mm-hmm. And you were telling me about how that whole part of Descender, for example, was just like a month, but still like it's
still probably a little more than month to month, but like
it's just tough when you have those things. They're great. It's great, but it feels, especially when you have so long between them. I know. Sorry, dog.
I'm writhing in my chair right now. I'm so upset.
I know.
I love that book. It's the best Jeff Johns. I mean, well, it's really the only other than now Shazam, but like it's the best Jeff Johns thing we've got in a while.
Really?
Like his writing in that is walking this amazing line between giving you what you love about Jeff Johns' writing and also kind of like playing with the format, sometimes aping, but like to a point, the format of Watchmen, the writing of Watchmen. It merges them in such an amazing way. He's saying some interesting things by comparing them. It's not just to throw them together.
Oh, totally.
There's a purpose to it. There's a commentary. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why he's doing it and how he's using those things together. I think the mystery of that book is one of the most compelling mysteries in a superhero book in a long time. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things I love most about in superhero comics is a good mystery in a superhero comic. I think those things go together so well, and Jeff Johns does that better than most. Mm-hmm. I think you're right, though. Okay. It's a really tough one.
It's so tough.
But I think you're right. I don't think it is... Yeah, I don't think this was its best year until the end here. Mm-hmm. And then,
overall, Okay,
fuck. All right. Well, I'm going to give myself a little break here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let me just see which one I want to do here. I'm going to lock a book.
Okay.
Oh, if there's two on here that I'm going to have a pair that I'm going to have some real trouble with.
Well, because
we're going to get to
Okay,
it.
We'll get there.
I am going to lock Marvel 2-in-1.
I'm counting.
We have a lot of books left.
I know we have a lot of books left.
Marvel 2-in-1. I mean, I don't know why I'm looking it up. I just wanted to see if it started this year when those early issues came out. But Marvel 2-in-1 is a book I didn't see coming. Yeah. Marvel 2-in-1 is a book that took two characters that are the characters I cared about the least in the Fantastic Four.
Really?
Yes. I like the Thing. I didn't care about the Human Torch.
Yeah.
And
February.
Well, that's cover date. We'll check that. But in any case, it definitely was coming out this year.
Yeah.
It had plenty of issues. First issue was December 20th. So just at the end. That first issue, amazing. Technically can't count it, but the rest of the series builds on that first issue and that concept in some amazing ways. The ways in which they really endear you to those characters in ways I did not expect. The ways in which they take these two, somewhat like they're just kind of tropes. Mm-hmm. It's the big dumb tough guy, and it's the like hot-headed like. Like just
spontaneous,
empty-headed kind of like thrill seeker character, and they're two characters who don't get a lot of time alone. You really got to know their relationship to each other. You really got to know them as characters, what makes them tick, the like betrayal at the heart of it. What Ben Grimm does is so well developed in terms of how it comes to bear eventually in the series. And I know we can't count that first issue, but even throughout, I think it's not quite the reinvention that Mr. Miracle is, and it is not a straightforward superhero book in the way that a Justice League Dark is. It's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But I think it's great for the ways in which it's delivering you a superhero book, but it's giving you that twist. It's giving you the interesting skew and the character work. it's also that you want, but like, and also just very surprising kind of development from Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
He is a writer who I like. My experience with him was that his work was very silly, light, and
Well, it seems like that's all that Marvel was giving him to work with. And now they're seeing like, oh, you worked with these characters and made people care about them when, we didn't put that much work into them probably even before.
I think it's an important book in the scope of his career, especially because it is the book that seems like it convinced Marvel to be like, oh shit, he can write like really good dramatic stuff.
Yeah.
And they're giving him books. They're giving him an Invaders book he's going to write Cap. He's going to write Namor. He's going to write like these big characters at Marvel.
Also, he's got, what is it? What's the other one? Daredevil.
Yeah, he's writing fucking Daredevil. I forgot about that.
Which, by the way, I hope that he's not too overworked because he has 2 dramatic series to do at the same time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Some people can do it, some people can't. But anyways,
so we'll see.
But I think in terms of superhero books, it is one of the strongest and most surprising books from this year for me. I don't know that I would put any of. There's maybe one. There's maybe one other superhero book on here I would put in the same league, but I don't know that there's another superhero book other than that other one.
I have a problem.
You have a problem. You got a challenge?
I threw my hat.
Oh, shit.
I'm challenging it. I think every single thing that you just said is absolutely true. I just think that there are elements of it, such as the bad Fantastic Four, such as the ending, which really, really makes me sad about it. I think there are elements that brings it back that other series that we have on this list don't have. I love that book, and it had so many moments where it was just absolutely hysterical. Having Rachna cool, like involving her, but that's another part of it too. Like she didn't get the wrap up that she deserves. I don't think she could have been a whole part of it. I'm challenging it because I love it. I can't do it. I just did a count of stuff that I think should be locked on here. And it was too many.
See, it's easy for me to kind of, and I know maybe this isn't the way I should be looking at it, but those last 2 issues, they felt like a concession to the continuity in that, like, we have to address this.
Yeah.
So let's. But the story that they told, that they were telling in that series wrapped up before those last 2 issues.
Not Rachna, not Dr. Doom.
No, it didn't. I don't know.
I know,
man.
I'm sorry. I'm getting my hat.
I don't know.
Here, can we move on? Keep it in that,
I put it in a weird limbo here. It's not a lock because you challenged it. We'll come back to it if you don't agree, but it's one of my favorite superhero books this year. I just like the way in which it made me care about the Thing and Human Torch is so nuts to me.
Yeah.
And it made me care about them a lot.
I know.
Like, it made me really like those characters. And I like Ben Grimm. I liked the Thing.
Yeah.
I didn't really have much of a feeling for him as like a character. I just like, oh, big rock guy. He's cool.
Yeah.
But like, Human Torch couldn't have given a shit about, and I really, they gave him a character in this.
Yeah.
They made him matter in that team in a way that I didn't appreciate until now. So,
yeah.
We'll leave it off. It won't be a lock for now.
It's a limbo.
It might have to be readdressed, but
yeah,
we'll see. All right. Jack used a challenge.
I used a challenge. I'm at 2.
We've got two challenges left.
Okay.
Okay.
So is it my turn then?
Okay. I guess. Yes.
Oh, because I mean, I guess no. You can go.
No, it's your turn. It's your turn. I also have 3 challenges, and I could negate any of yours.
Exactly. So. I'm gonna lock Doctor Strange by Donny Cates. I think that in terms of like superhero comics specifically, I think the way it was paced out, I think the way that he made the characters play along with each other, I think the way that he introduced the status quo of the story in the first part and then turned it on its head in the second part, I think it is okay. Doug is slowly picking up my hats. I think, along with the art as well and how they did it, I think using the Sentry and introducing him there to further go into his own series with his own problems, I think it belongs on there. I think it was one of Donny Cates' grand things.
What other Donny Cates stuff do we have on here? We have Thanos. Is that the only other? We have Venom.
And Venom. And Baby Teeth, but we already locked it.
Oh, shit, yeah. We've also got Baby Teeth. You're very passionate about Baby Teeth.
I'm very passionate about Baby Teeth.
I would be surprised if you didn't argue it onto the final list. So, that included in all of these... of the Donny Cates books on this list, I love Doctor Strange. That is not the first one I would have put on here.
Are you going to throw it?
Ones. Doctor Strange, when I was making my list, that book did not make it.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, it was great. It developed the character. It felt a little bit cyclical. It felt a little bit like, at the end of the day, nothing really changed all that much.
He was a little more mature at the end, I thought.
Yeah.
He was very...
It was pretty vague, though. You know?
I don't know. I just thought the wrap-up also with that... Well, I guess we have that on the short-form ones, too. I don't know. I just thought the way that he... maybe you're right.
I don't know. It's tough because it wasn't... I mean, they're all tough now. I keep saying that, but like...
I know.
It's an excellent, excellent book. I love the early stuff.
Gabriel Hernandez Walta.
Are we counting Damnation as a part of this?
That's one thing that I was thinking about. Are we... I mean, it is a part of his run.
Because... Like... Damnation for me is this big blip in his... It was an event series that very much he did a bunch of tie-in issues. He co-wrote it. It's difficult because it is a different titled book, but it ties so heavily into his series, and he co-wrote it that like it feels like it should be in consideration for being a part of that series, and I have issues with that series. I also feel that the ending was also somewhat abrupt. I don't think it was mandated by anything. It just felt like it just kind of ended. The last issue is amazing.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't
feel like it was it doesn't feel like it was building off of, it just felt like its own thing.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was the resolution to this big story and not everything needs to be a big epic story, but like...
It just felt like more of a short form comic.
It did.
The last one. You're right.
But,
you don't have to use a challenge. I'll change it to a cut.
You're cutting it?
Yeah, that's the only other option.
I mean, it can just not be... You feel not strong enough about it that you would just cut it.
I think you've told me things that I'm considering now. But I love this work with Loki that they have in there.
I know, the Loki But I also think
much of
that
that
the
Loki
Loki
stuff-
I feel like the Loki stuff kind of went nowhere.
I mean, that's kind of what Loki, with Loki at least.
I know he was just causing mischief or whatever, but then, like, I don't know. I don't really know what he was doing at the end of the day, like what his goal was. Like, he explained it, but it was also kind of like bullshit.
Wasn't he trying to be a good person still? Like, seeing if he had that, like...
He was, like, testing him because there was big stuff coming, but the series...
Oh, yeah, that's
ended.
what he said.
And, like, it sounded like he was talking about, like, I think he was hinting at, like, future event stuff, one of which was probably Damnation. I think he said, like, Hell on Earth. One of which was probably... I think he was hinting towards War of the Realms. Like, a lot of the stuff wasn't even stuff that was contained in the book. It felt a little shoehorned in. I don't know. It felt like Donny Cates honestly didn't really... He had this cool idea of Loki trying to be Sorcerer Supreme, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew how to wrap that bit up. And that always kind of stuck with me a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a little frustrating.
I could see that.
Are you adamant about it, or...
No, I'm not. I will not challenge that.
You won't challenge my challenge?
Challenge.
Oh, that is a good question. If we challenge something...
You've convinced
If we
me.
challenge something, are we changing it to a cut?
I think that, honestly.
All right. We're cutting 2 in 1 then, for now.
Well, it's not. Through deliberation.
It probably won't come back. I don't think we...
Yeah.
Yeah. But, all right. Well...
I think it's a cut. I think you're right. I agree. You're right. No, honestly, you're right.
Yeah. It's really getting down to it. I am, however... It's my turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for an easy one here.
Go.
I'm going to cut Batman.
Okay, go ahead.
Batman, in a lot of ways, has had maybe its strongest year this year. Batman this is by Tom King, various artists. There were some amazing stories. Tom King has really seemed to really find his way in terms of what he's doing with Batman. He's telling short arcs that are very standalone. They all kind of build off of larger arc ideas. Most of it is, right now, is him kind of emotionally dealing with, spoilers, with Catwoman leaving him at the altar. But they're vague enough that you can take them out of context, really enjoy them on their own, but you appreciate them more with the larger context of the story. There's an amazing story where Bruce Wayne inserts himself into jury duty on a case in which Mr. Freeze was brought in by Batman brutally.
Oh.
And Bruce Wayne is on the jury, 12 Angry Men style, trying to convince everyone else
He's not guilty.
that the man is that Mr. Freeze should not be prosecuted.
That is so cool.
It's so good.
Because also, it comes up with so many terms of, like, vigilante justice. Like,
Yes.
he's legit trying to be a vigilante, like, person. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
through, like, non-judicial system ways.
But but he's trying to. He is like working through, like he did this in a moment of like anger and like acting out, and he is grappling with that through, and he like wants to atone for that, and that's why he put himself on the jury. There's a bunch of stuff in it about like allegories to like treating Batman like he's a god and your faith in a god. It's like, it's a really good, it's one of the best Batman stories I've read. There are also some stories that aren't as strong in being short arcs. They're usually like 3 issues, 2 issues. Like there are ones that aren't as strong. I think that overall, it's a great Batman run. It's not one of my favorite Batman runs of all time. Mm-hmm. It's got some great stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it is better than some of these other books. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna cut it. All right.
Okay, it's cut. Okay.
All right, maybe we need to lock some.
Okay,
what is a book that we can both get behind?
Kill or Be Killed.
Yes.
Locking it.
I think Kill or Be Killed is a lock on this list. This is the latest from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Mm-hmm. It went on for a while. It was longer than this year, correct? It was a while longer this year, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's like 20-something issues.
Yeah. So, I mean, but we got the finale this year. We got, like, that would have been...
And it was good.
Probably about the second half of it, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's such a great crime drama.
Yeah. The
character development in it is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, we don't, like, he's not a new character, so he's not eligible for the best new character, but, like, Dylan in that series, the main character, is one of the most fascinating protagonists in comics this year.
Completely.
And, I totally agree that book needs to be on a list of the 10 best comic books of this year.
Okay.
Especially just as a representative of, like, the crime comic genre. Like, I think it is the high watermark for this year.
Yeah.
Locked. All right, easy one.
Okay.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised about that. I know we both love that book, but I'm surprised that we both feel strongly it should be on this list.
Oh God, yeah, but I was
just because it's such a, like, we're big superhero book people, we're big genre book people, and that book is neither of those things really, for the most part, and but it's just excellent storytelling.
Yeah,
it's really good. I have a problem.
Okay, go.
And I'm not necessarily cutting or locking anything right now. We'll get to something.
Okay.
Do I lock? This is going... I need some sort of consensus here on this one.
Go.
Do we lock one of these books or cut both of them? Action Comics and Superman.
I would say that we lock Action Comics because it's been consistently... God damn it. Action Comics would be the one I would say, because there were a few issues with Superman.
I don't know. I think Action Comics has been a more solid throughout book. I think the highs of Superman have been higher.
I agree. But then again, does that mean we cut both of them? I think you have a good point there. I think you're right. I think but
I'm not saying that. That's why I'm having such trouble with this one. Because the problem is, you've said this before, that you don't think they work as a unit. That they're too separate.
They don't, and I wish they did.
From a story standpoint, no, they don't. But, and I don't think we can consider them a single book. But, I think they really do work as a single unit. Mm-hmm. Not in a direct story way, but
character way.
In the sense that you're getting, I think Bendis did this, Brian Michael Bendis did this purposefully, in that you're getting these two halves of his vision for who Superman is as a character, who Clark Kent is as a character, these two kind of parts of him. And I think they work so well, you get the full vision of who he is through reading both of those books, even if they don't fit together in a plot sense.
Yeah.
Which makes it hard because I don't know that either one of them individually is necessarily something that makes it on the list, and I hate that. And so it feels almost like we should, like, there's also the possibility that we, as a symbolic thing for both of them, lock both of them.
Spot?
I don't know that we can do that.
I don't think we can lock both. No, I don't.
I mean, fuck it, it's our list. We could do whatever we want, but should we?
I think we take them out. I think they're out.
That's where I'm leaning.
I think we take them out. I think they're cut.
I think they work so well together. I think Action Comics, yes, is the better, like, indicator of, like, these books being amazing. Mm-hmm. But if we're looking at them on their individual merits, don't
cutting
think
them.
either of them necessarily make it.
I say cut. I think
All
you're right.
Can I cut both of these?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to do another in tandem one a little bit after this. I know it's not as much in tandem, but in terms of, you had a lot of ideas about bad people being the center of books before these. And there are two books, both by Donny Cates, on this list that I think one should make it and one shouldn't.
I'm so fascinated which way you're going to go on this because I know which books you're talking
Between
about.
Venom by Donny Cates and Thanos by Donny Cates.
Oh, okay. This one a different. These are both Cates books. I missed that. Okay.
I am going to say Thanos makes it and Venom doesn't.
I agree.
Because I think Venom, I've loved Venom. I think Noel is a good character. I think it was a really interesting involving the mythology of Venom into this storyline, something that's very different, treating it in a different way, seemingly a different way to treat it because you haven't liked anything but like with Venom in the past as much, and you like this, and I think it's fantastic the way it's been working with it. I just think Thanos as a story with just how bonkers, like how ridiculous, not even it's ridiculous, it's just like he put that character into this ridiculous situation in which it made it such a fucking great protagonist and a great story. And I think with the art by Jeff Shaw in that and the coloring by Antonio Fabela and introducing Cosmic Ghost Rider, I think that book deserves to be on this list. I think Thanos gets in as a lock, and I think Venom is gone.
I think I definitely agree with which one you picked of those two.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on the fence about if we were to the point where I should cut Venom yet for a bit. But I think that book is excellent. I agree. There's something about it that's just not quite up to par with at least the books we're left with here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't really quite yet grasp. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year once we get a better broad kind of view of what he's doing with the character in a broad sense, because I'm still kind of like, we're still figuring it out at the moment.
Yeah.
We're still in the middle of it, and I don't quite know where it's going, which is a good thing, but like, I don't have a good, solid sense of what to take away from it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I think Thanos by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw, Antonio Fabela is the best Thanos comic book that's been made. It's better than any of the Infinity blah blah blahs.
Yeah.
It's better than any other event that Thanos has shown up in. It is the best use of Thanos in comic books I have ever seen.
Wow.
It's so good. It treats like the movie, like Infinity War, the movie, like it treats him as such. It treats him as a real character. It delves into like his emotions, but it doesn't take away from how intimidating, how powerful he is. He's still an antagonist in the book, even though it's his book, and it works.
Yeah, and it's not like Infinity War is a different version of Thanos than was in the comics.
No, I'm just making a parallel.
No, I know. But in terms of even comics, like, he's not changing the character of Thanos in terms of comics. What he's doing is he's putting this same character that you've had forever and ever, and he's putting him into a situation where you can tell a story, where he has feeling and he has, you know what I mean? Where he worked this scenario around the character so that he would be an absolutely, thrilling protagonist to have.
Yes.
I think the craft there is just amazing.
Yes. I think it is an incredible standalone story with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
And, not to slight ongoing books, but, I think that the story they tell in Thanos, in Donny Cates' arc in Thanos, Thanos wins, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, Thanos
that
wins.
Arc is incredible.
Yeah.
And it should definitely be highlighted on the best books this year. Mm-hmm. That puts us at 6 books.
6 books. We have 4 more.
We have 4 more slots.
Can we just lock from this? I don't want to.
I think it is getting to the point where we're going to need to try to lock the ones that we know for sure. At least a few more, because we're gonna have some arguments probably about the last ones on this list. Which one? I am going to lock Gideon Falls.
I agree.
Gideon Falls is... So you said Baby Teeth is not a horror book.
No.
Gideon Falls is the strongest horror book that has come out this past year. Gideon Falls is... It's all the best parts of Jeff Lemire's not indie, this is an image, but it's his creator-owned comics work. It's a mystery in a small town. Mm-hmm. It's a great, delve into these, misanthropic characters, and the horror in it. The art from Andrea Sorrentino is incredible, career high art for, I actually don't know, is Andrea Sorrentino a man or a woman?
I've always, you said a he once before and I was like, really? We're finding it out.
I'll look it up. But anyways.
No, and also I just want to go over, because I thought one of the main things that I loved about that book is the panel structure and how that has been used to tell the story. So much so that I didn't know whether if it's Italian, it's probably a guy.
It's a man. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So much so that I thought that I wasn't sure whether it was the writer or the artist, if it was Jeff Lemire or Andrea Sorrentino doing the panel structure, because it's so ingrained into what is happening and how you read the book. It's just, I love that. And especially when it goes fucking crazy, for example, when they're in the Black Barn.
Yes. That is probably my favorite part of that book so far. Mm-hmm. But the reason it works for me so well is that, as opposed to something like An Eternity Girl, it is the exception. It is a delve into madness that works because it feels like madness as opposed to the very real world setting around it. Yeah. It feels terrifying in that issue because of how bonkers it goes.
The dichotomy between what it is and what it has become.
Yes. Yeah. And on both of those fronts, I think they're both doing incredible work. I think it is the best work I've seen from Andrea Sorrentino, and it is incredible horror work from Jeff Lemire, who I don't know.
I was just going to ask you.
He's always got bits of horror. His Animal Man run had lots of horror tinges to it. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not familiar with a book that's this much just a horror book from him. Yeah. And he's doing a fucking great job at it. I think on the virtue of being the best horror book this year, other than I don't know anything about Baby Teeth. But you're saying it's not even really a horror book. It's not really a horror book. Okay. But so I think it is the best horror book this year. And I think it needs to be on this list. Yes. Okay. All right. That puts us at 7.
7. I'm going to lock an easy one. Saga.
Okay.
Now, let me make a caveat. I don't know exactly what happened this year.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. I don't disagree that Saga is an amazing book.
Yeah.
I don't know... Because the thing that's interesting about this is you read all of Saga.
All of it.
This year.
And I read four books in the last 3 months. Or in the last few months or something like that.
So let me try to bring a little bit of perspective as someone who's been reading it month to month since the beginning.
Go ahead.
And I'm not necessarily going to challenge you.
Just talk it through.
Now. But I'm thinking it through. Saga is an amazing book. Mm-hmm. It continues to be amazing. I don't think that there's been, in the broad sense, a dip in quality since it started. It's always been just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could say that, this was Saga's best year or something.
Okay.
Which isn't necessarily a necessity, but...
It's the feeling that you have towards it, and that's part
just
of this. As a reader.
It's just kind of a philosophical thing. I know it's also, we haven't done one of these before. So we haven't had the chance to put it on a previous year's list. So it's just this matter of if we're judging it just on this year and we haven't ever given it an award before, is this year enough to put it over all these other books? Or should we be giving it to it as a symbolic thing because we've never honored it before? I mean, I don't know. It continues to be amazing. It's probably I don't think I'm going to challenge it.
Okay.
I think even though it wasn't its best year quote, it wasn't a dip in quality, and it still continues to be one of the best comic books on the stands.
In all. Yeah.
In total. It's a really great book, and it's an amazing book, and they've done some amazing things this year, gut-wrenching things, and it's, yeah, no, it is
of what we have still. I think it deserves. It
is reaching a fever pitch. Like they're getting into that game.
We don't know really.
I guess no idea. I thought, aren't they in the latter part of it?
They could do anything they want.
No, it could go on forever.
This book is narrated by a girl who's...
Maybe I'm making that up. I just... Yeah. It should be on this list. Yes. That puts us at 8. We have 2 slots. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books left, vying for 2 spots. So...
Oy.
All right. Okay. So, 2 spots left. I have an idea for how we might want to start to try to at least whittle down a little bit further.
Okay.
I
want to know, are you taking into account, like, people doing very new stuff? Like, I know we talked about Justice League Dark.
The reasons for every book being on the list is different. Like, a book might be on the list because it's very new. Mm-hmm. A book might be on the list just because it's very solid storytelling. Like, there's no one criteria.
Mm-hmm. Can I make a really difficult choice right now?
Okay, let me pitch the thing I want to do first.
Pitch the thing.
Okay, I think... that we go through the remaining items on the list, and if we wanted to, we could do this with paper in secret, and that would be fun.
Okay.
But and reveal them after we vote for all of them.
Ooh.
But I like the idea of going through each one and for the remaining ones and saying, could this be on the final list? Not is it a lock, but do we think this deserves to be in the running for the final book? Okay. And then we'll say yes or no, and if we both say no, it's a cut.
Okay. Okay, so should we get a piece of paper or something?
We could do that, or we could just go through and say, like, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, all right. So the first of these final 13 here, Black Hammer: Age of Doom. Do we think this could be in the final 10? Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
No.
Yes. Oh. Discrepancy here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
All right. If it got at least one yes, we will mark it.
Yeah, yellow.
We will mark it something else here. Yeah. Just to keep that in our heads.
And ones that you've read, I can't have any.
Okay.
Because I don't know about Paper Girls. I've read the first trade.
I'm going to cut it.
Cut it.
I'm just going to cut it. I don't think it's on this list.
What issue is that on now, by the way? Paper Girls by Brian K.
20s?
20-something? Okay. So I probably should only have, like, 3 more trades maybe to do. 2, 3, 4?
I'm not sure. Paper Girls.
Maybe 5.
Paper Girls. 25 issues. Well,
25
actually,
issues.
this number is often wrong.
Often wrong.
Sorry, this is fascinating. I just
I
want to know. I'll come back to that. Immortal Hulk. All right. Do we think this could be on the final list? 3, 2, 1. No.
Okay.
Shit. What? I was expecting you to say yes on that one.
No, I really, really like it. I love it. I think it compared to all this stuff, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well,
it just had.
It's cut then.
I think if it was like it's ongoing like right now, I think right now it's some of the strongest stuff it's had. And if it was like the ongoing, if it was the ongoing story and at the level it was now for the entire series, I think it might be a little different. But as much as I loved those issue by issue stories, it they weren't good enough issue by issue stories to warrant the entire thing being on this list still.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Was that all this year? I think so.
I think it was.
I don't think they're far enough into the series for it to have taken.
They're on like 9, but I think
yeah,
it was,
there haven't been like significant delays.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I've read a decent amount of Descender. I don't know if there's a difference in quality now as it has.
Because you probably haven't even read anything that came out this year.
No, I haven't at all. I'm not.
All right.
I finished volume 3 of the trades of 6.
Okay. I'm going to make an executive decision and say no.
Okay.
On that one.
Would you say that quality has changed at all?
Not really. I liked the way it wrapped up. Because it ended this year.
And it's going into Ascender.
It's going into a sequel series, follow-up series. Anyways, it was great throughout. I did think it had a little bit of a lull in the middle, so I guess not great throughout. But the flashback stuff was hard to read month to month. It's probably
that was a while ago then.
Was
right?
that
I
before
just
this
read
year?
The flashback stuff.
Maybe that was a while ago. Anyways, I just don't know that like it was great. I really liked the way everything kind of came together at the end.
Mm-hmm.
The art's amazing. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, Dustin.
But I don't think it measures up to some of these remaining ones.
Okay.
Okay. Farmhand.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
No. Okay. We'll put it as a yellow.
Okay.
All right. Okay. You're gonna have to. You gotta.
I mean,
say,
I would say it
for Skyward.
I would say it in terms of how good it's been. Every single issue, and for this new world and explaining every aspect in such a cool way, giving you twists into how life would really be like in low G, or all the interesting elements of a low G life.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So you think it should be on the list? All right.
I think it should be on the list.
We've marked that. Ice Cream Man. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Okay. Is that the first one we've agreed on?
Yeah, it was. Oh, so it's a lock, isn't it?
We didn't set that as a thing. I don't know that that's necessarily it, because we're going to be doing more. We're probably going to agree about some of these other books too, and I don't think we have slots.
Okay, let's just do a yellow. Yeah.
Let's.
Yellow and bold?
A bold, sure. We can do whatever the fuck we want with this formatting. Well, okay, I think that bodes well for Ice Cream Man.
Okay.
But we'll come back to it. Dr. Star.
Mm-hmm.
And the Kingdom of Lost Tomorrows.
And the Kingdom of Lost Tomorrows.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Yes. No. Ooh. Really?
It's great. It's a great book. I don't know.
God.
It's a great book.
So good, though.
I know it is.
It's just like, I don't know. It's what I love about it is it's so weird to relate his. I mean, it's not that weird, I guess. Like, it's him. I don't know. Can you talk about why you say no? Because I was really difficult with that one. I don't know. Because I'm leaning. You know, and I want you to.
It's a really good book. Like, the character work in it is very strong. The flashback stuff in it. The, adventure story stuff in it, felt somewhat throwaway to me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but it didn't really have, other than that he was gone, and
it didn't
really relate much to the development, at least to my memory.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think it's bonkers you said yes to this and not to Black Hammer.
Okay, the reason being because I think Black Hammer has been consistently good. I don't know. There's something about it. I'm taking into account differences of stories, and Black Hammer, while it's very, very meta, and I love that about it, and it's very, it comments so well on the superhero genre in general, I just felt like, and we did start getting answers more so this time, I don't know. I just felt like not as satisfied with this part of Black Hammer as I did like in the ones before, and that's.
I would say that it's not been as strong as the start of the series has been.
I think that's what's mostly coloring.
I could see that. Ugh. All
but
right.
Dr. Star is so different that I don't have that sort of feeling about. You know.
Something internally in me, if we're not doing Black Hammer, is just really bucking at the idea of putting Dr. Star.
No, I think you. I forgot about all that adventure stuff. I just remember so much of that. He was gone.
No, you said yes, so we're gonna mark it as a possibility.
It's a possibility.
We can come back and cut it if we decide to.
I haven't read the third volume of Hillbilly, which is what was this year, I believe. I've read the second.
So am I alone on that?
So it's I kind of get what it is, maybe. Well, I have a question. Was it more serialized here? Because
Yes.
I remember reading something about how he was going to start like doing more with like the specific character. I read something in volume 2 of the trades that he said, "Oh, this character is definitely going to come back, and this is setting up for this." stuff.
It became a much more serialized story.
That's really
because it
cool.
started off as lots of one-offs, and it was that for a while.
Yeah.
And then it all started kind of bringing elements from the one-offs into a more like we're following up on all these plot threads, and we're doing kind of a finale, and then they continued it in the next mini-series thing. It's great. I don't think it makes the top 10.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a great book. I think it's mostly great for the art.
Okay.
I think they're very good, straightforward kind of folktale stories.
Yeah.
And I love it for that. I don't know that it's doing anything that's really reinventing the wheel or anything.
Okay.
And I don't know that I just think it's story-wise not one of the best books of the year.
Okay.
So let's cut it.
Cutting it.
Black Science.
Now, we've also had very different experiences of this one between us. Now, I've been reading the last 4 issues monthly.
Okay.
But
so you've at least got a chunk of it this year. Like in real time, I mean.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So 3, 2, 1.
No.
Yes.
I know. The reason I'm doing it is because
I was on the fence.
I just wasn't as interested in how they're going to like the center of the onion stuff. Like, I don't know, some of this therapy stuff. I don't know. It didn't seem as it didn't seem as I don't know how to explain it. Like, it didn't seem like the ending that I kind of imagined it would be with so much like going into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like the animated
If you think we should cut it, I think we should cut it.
I think we should cut it.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh, that's so
I
painful.
love it. But everything can't be yellow. We can't just yellow.
Yeah, we can't just yellow everything. Okay.
I don't know this one, so
7 to Eternity. 7 to Eternity is a book that we didn't get a lot of this year. I don't know.
What issue is that on? Sorry, I keep doing that. I'll look it up. You go decide. It's fine.
12-ish?
Yeah.
It's fairly long between issues.
Oh, really?
It's one of the most gorgeous, imaginative books out there. They've been in a really cool arc where they're in this like city of these like sky pirates, but they're like octopus people.
What's this book about?
It's a fantasy book written by Rick Remender and drawn by Jerome Pena.
That's insane.
And they're just completely reinventing. They are reinventing like what you would see of as like a fantasy story. Like they totally are.
That's crazy.
Like it's so divorced from. I mean, like there's tropes, sure, but visually at least, like totally different from anything you've seen in a fantasy story before. Like Tolkien-esque stuff. No. Yeah. I think it could be on the list.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it there for now.
Okay.
Oblivion Song. That's you.
I'm gonna say no, mostly because I don't think I've read enough monthly to warrant me knowing what it was like.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it was completely new this year, though. fuck. That actually makes it worse. I think I'm gonna check it.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'll leave it.
Yeah,
until you figure this out.
Let's leave it till I figure it out. I think if it was completely new this year, I can't.
I think it was, because I remember talking about wanting to try it on the show. And there were only a couple months before this year where we did the show.
Oh, yeah, it was in March published.
How far behind are you?
No, I'm caught up.
You're caught up? Oh.
Shit. No, just put no. Just put no.
Cut it?
Yeah, cut it. I'm ripping off the Band-Aid.
Okay. Magic order.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. No. All right.
Okay.
We're cutting it.
Okay. You're okay. Okay.
That one, I was going to be surprised if that would have made it. That was a last-minute addition anyways.
Yeah.
It's a great book.
It's a great book, and it's almost done.
Yeah. It's almost done, and it's somewhat throwaway.
It's just great, though.
It's good. It's
the
good.
craft of it is fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's doing anything like...
And it's...
It's
also... I know you haven't read a ton of Mark Millar stuff, but...
Yeah.
It's a Mark Millar book. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
It's
good.
It's the thing he does, generally, for the most part.
But I love the art in it, too, and it's just... It's a really cool... Oh, whatever. It's out.
Yeah. Okay, so that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books for 2 spots. Those books are Black Hammer, Age of Doom, Farmhand, Skyward, Ice Cream Man, Dr. Star, and Seven to Eternity. Ice Cream Man is the only one
That's gotta get the spot.
Is Ice Cream Man a lock?
Yeah, it's a lock. And then we just have to decide
Ice
on
Cream
one.
Man is a lock. All right, so we need to decide on what the final book is to make it on this list. And I think it is...
You think it's obvious?
I think it is bonkers that we are not in agreement about this one. That it is not Black Hammer.
Age of Doom? I don't know.
All the stuff with the Madame Dragonfly's house and, like, going through that. And
yeah, but that also felt very meandering to me. I felt like she just had to get out of there. I don't know. I felt like they were throwing unnecessary conflicts in her way just to prolong the story. And I don't like that. Especially since we didn't get that much of a resolution at the end. We just went straight into...
It was fascinating.
But we just went straight into that whole Colonel Weird, which I even liked that Colonel Weird stuff more than you, I think. But I like those characters, and I wanted more stuff happening with those characters, and I felt like not enough happened. I felt like it was more like just prolonging it as opposed to actual stuff going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking crazy, right? You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying. Everything you're saying makes sense.
I know.
I like that book a lot.
But on the other hand, I also see the reason to take Dr. Star off. I would agree with taking them both off.
Ooh.
I would agree with taking Dr. Star.
So that would leave us... If we took off Dr. Star and Age of Doom... We didn't give anything to any Black Hammer books. That seems nuts to me, but...
They're all so good.
So what does that leave us with? It leaves us with Farmhand, it leaves us with Skyward, and Seven to Eternity.
One that we both read, and 2 that...
Yeah.
Not both of us read. God.
Do either of us feel stronger about either of our solo books than we do about all the other books left?
To be honest, yes.
You feel strong. You were going to cut it earlier, weren't you?
Skyward? No.
Oh, Skyward. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Farmhand.
Oh,
no. We both read Farmhand. Sorry. I just always think of that as your book for some reason.
Because I got you to read it.
Yeah, you got me to read it.
I feel very strongly about Skyward because I think it's been so...
If you could pick one book on this out of all these remaining books, would you pick Skyward?
Probably. In terms of the combination of art and writing and the fact that it's a debut comic artist, the fact that it's a world that is such a simple idea that has developed itself into so many different ways based on weather, based on creatures, based on corporations, and that it has such a bright future ahead of it. I feel very strongly for it. I do. And it's just beautiful in all ways, writing and art. I don't know.
Do either of us feel especially strongly about Farmhand?
No, because I think it got a little bit in the middle where it was. Like, I liked it a lot, and I love his art, and I love how it marries with the tone of the book.
Yes.
And I think it's a very interesting book. I think the next series is going to be like, this is going to be like really, really great. You know, I think the next series...
It's really starting to come together.
Yeah.
I think whether it's a next issue or the next series, it's going to be... Yeah, it is going to hit the ground running here. Okay, so so we cut Farmhand. I also, because I just don't feel as... I love Seven to Eternity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that oh, fuck. But so maybe I should keep it. I don't think I feel as strongly about Seven to Eternity as you feel about Skyward. Was the thing that I think clinched it for me.
Okay.
I love Seven to Eternity, but I don't think that I mostly just have, like, it's just amazing visually.
Yeah.
It's an incredible looking book. It's a great story too, but I don't think I feel as strongly about it as an all-around package as you do about Skyward.
I really...
So, let's cut Age of Doom.
Really?
Let's do it.
Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
So wait. So we have one slot, right? We gave one to Ice Cream Man. So it is between Skyward and Dr. Star. I don't... It's difficult. I know... So there's two things we could do here. We could give it to you based on pure passion. Like, I have not read this book, but you seem to think it is an incredible book.
We could also do the one that we both read, because I think that's better.
Well, but, like, should we go for the consensus one that we can agree on, or should we go for the one that you were bowled over by?
But I'm still bowled over by Dr. Star. It just continues to be so good. If it was my list, I would pick Skyward in a second. I know.
This is tough.
I know.
Tough.
I know.
Tough.
It's terribly tough. We knew it was going to be tough when we set out to do this. There have been so many every single one that we've had.
I still think it's insane you didn't argue for Eternity Girl.
I do in my head.
Yeah.
I just know that we need to...
Okay. So... I think we should go passion over consensus.
Okay.
I'm willing to concede and give you Skyward.
Okay. Good.
All right. So, not ordered. But these are our 10. In no particular order right now, they are Gideon Falls, Killer Be Killed, Thanos by Donny Cates, Mr. Miracle, The Wild Storm, Baby Teeth, Skyward, Ice Cream Man, Saga, and Justice League Dark. So, it's a hell of a list. I feel good about the list.
I feel very good about that list.
It was tough to get there, but it's a good list. We got some good variety. We got more variety in there than I was thinking we were going to have.
I'm glad we have variety in there, though, because, you never know what's going to be, I mean, it's good that there's so much variety in the titles that we had this year, honestly.
Yes.
In kinds of books, and I think that's amazing. Like, it's just... When I started reading comics, I really didn't know how much variety there was. Yeah. I really had no idea.
It's just a medium.
No fucking
There's so
idea.
much shit. I mean, there's like tons of superhero shit.
But you can do so much with a medium.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a medium. There's so much
Archie,
stuff.
I always forget that's a huge thing that people read. Have you ever read Archie, seriously?
I've never read, like, the old stuff. I think I read, like, the reboot they did that Mark Waid did a while back.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not really my thing.
Yeah.
But
I gotcha. It's just amazing.
Okay, so how are we going to order these?
I don't know.
Okay, so we took a short break. And what we actually did was, for these 10 books, we each made a numbered list individually, 10 to 1 out of the picks we made. So now we are going to each individually read off our lists, and then we're going to try to merge them into one list.
Yeah, the most...
Like, we'll have to shift some things around. They won't probably match either of these, but unless we made the exact same list, wouldn't
that be crazy?
That would be fucking bonkers and the
won't
most
happen.
satisfying thing in the world. But no,
It won't happen.
no, we will make this work. Whatever it is, they're gonna be opposite. Although if you don't, I'm sorry, if there's not one specific one on here,
On the one
you are
number
out of
one?
your mind.
I know.
Let's not spoil it, but okay. You go first. What is your 10 to 1?
Are we doing 10, then
Counting
10?
down.
Or
10,
just... Okay.
Starting with 10.
My number 10 is Ice Cream Man. My number 9 is Kill or Be Killed.
Okay.
My number 8 is Wildstorm, because I think that's about... I don't know. My number 7 is Justice League Dark.
Okay.
My number 6 is Skyward.
Okay.
My number 5 is Thanos. My number 4 is Saga. My number 3 is Baby Teeth.
Okay.
My number 2 is Gideon Falls. And my number 1 is Mr. Miracle.
Okay. Some interesting parallels and contradictions between our lists.
Okay.
We will find them out as we go here. My list. Number 10. I put Skyward.
Okay.
Because I think that one just barely made it on.
Okay.
Number 9, Kill or Be Killed.
Okay, wow.
Number 8, Justice League Dark. Number 7, Baby Teeth. Number 6, Saga. Number 5, Thanos. Number 4, Gideon Falls. Number 3 is the Wildstorm, which is probably a shot in the dark, but you put Baby Teeth up near there on yours.
Yeah. Wait, what was Baby Teeth on that? 7? Or 8?
7.
7? It's about the same. They
So it's in
switched
the-
places.
Number 2, I put Ice Cream Man.
Wow. That is interesting.
That is very
choice.
different.
Very different.
That is a book that has shifted a lot in my mind in terms of how I think about it. I've thought very highly of it lately.
Wow.
Like thinking back on the year that is comics.
Yeah.
And number 1, Mr. Miracle.
Okay.
So, what do we have the same? Let's not necessarily...
Mr. Miracle.
So, the ones that we have the same, Mr. Miracle,
Thanos.
Thanos...
Kill or Be Killed.
Kill or Be Killed. Now, these other than
Justice League Dark is very close.
Justice League Dark is in the same kind of range, so it should probably stay somewhere in that range, depending on where we move other things.
Yes.
But Ice Cream Man, I have no fucking idea what to do with.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's try to look at what we had in. Let's work our way. Let's work our way down here. Let's start with 10. So what do we have in this? Okay, so we have Kill or Be Killed and Justice League Dark kind of towards the end of the pack here.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in last, but...
I mean, we can do that. I think...
But
I'm fine with Kill or Be Killed being 10 and Justice League Dark being 9.
Okay. Yeah.
In terms of
I think
consensus.
I think that would be fair. Okay.
So let's do that. Okay.
We don't... okay. Yeah, we both put Justice League Dark over Kill or Be Killed. So yeah. So Kill or Be Killed 10.
KK. Jail Dark.
Jail Dark.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, it feels painful, but Kill or Be Killed, but...
It's gonna be painful.
It's gonna be painful no matter what. Let me say it's painful more. And how tough it is. Sorry.
We have, let's see here. I know you have Skyward down there. Let's just not get to that yet.
Yeah,
Skyward is at 6 for me.
These solo books are kind of tough.
I mean, I'm fine with putting Skyward at 7. At 8, I mean. Next. If that's
Are
okay with
you
me.
sure?
I mean, I'm at 6 here, and I wasn't sure about this, and this one we don't know what the fuck to do with it. So, yes.
I would be fine with that. It's your book.
Well, it's my book.
I think I think
all
it
good
is.
books.
I think you feel stronger about that book than I feel. Than I was arguing more for Justice League Dark. We both kind of agreed, but it was more my thing. But I think you feel stronger about that, and I think Kill or Be Killed. We both agreed should be on here, but I don't think either of us is gonna like
say it's
fight super hard for it to be over really any of these other things.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the only other thing I have in that mix is Wildstorm, which I did not know that was going to be so high for you.
It's one of my favorite books in a while. It's a really good book.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's our list, and you didn't read it, so we'll see.
So we're at 7, Skyward being 8.
Let's try a different tack now. Let's go down to number 1. So we know number 1 is Mr. Miracle.
We know 1 is Mr. Miracle. Spoilers. It's a great book.
It's a fucking read it. Amazing book. Read Mr. Miracle. Mr. Miracle is number 1. What do we have near the top of the pack?
Gideon Falls is 4 for you, 2 for me.
We could put Gideon Falls second. We could put Gideon Falls number 2.
Yeah?
I would be okay with Gideon Falls being number 2.
Okay.
I'm considering then a 3-4
tie.
Not tie, but a 3-4 some variation of Baby Teeth and Wildstorm.
I'm okay with that. Yes.
What's what?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's tough. We could put them in the same slot for now and then hash it out later.
No, we have to make a decision. Make a decision. Look, okay. What are the best things about Wildstorm in terms of other comics? What do you think it delivers on more than anything else?
What do you think it delivers on?
Yeah.
You're watching this universe be kind of like constructed in real time. It's this amazing mystery of conspiracies and of relationships and of the world is being, this whole world is being revealed to you issue by issue, reveal by reveal. The fucking dialogue in that book is so good I can't handle it. It is the most Warren Ellis book that I've read since he did Authority, and it's so my shit. I can't even handle it. It's this incredible melding of all these different genres. It gives you everything you would want, from a superhero book, from an espionage mystery book. It gives you conspiracy stuff. It's you come away from every issue feeling like you read 4 books. And yeah, obviously both of us are going to want our book in in that number 3 slot, but yeah. I'm
okay. Since you are, I know this isn't the right way. Since you're the Sherpa.
Okay, that's not what we're doing here.
No, we're not.
You give an argument for Baby Teeth.
Okay. Baby Teeth, I think Donny Cates writing this book is one of the coolest things, because at first I really thought it was going to be a horror book, but it's totally not. And the fact that it's not a horror book and it's about her baby being this devil son thing, but it's only about her struggling to survive this world that's constantly attacking her, and her relationship with her father, who didn't know she was pregnant, her relationship with her sister, who's fucking badass, and just the family drama here is absolutely comparable to God Country, in my head at least. And I think it's so like that, and I think it's so different from that also. And it's just the whole universe they've made around them, the constant attacks coming from each direction for them, the way he puts emotion into random ass, things that shouldn't have emotion attached to it. It's just every single time I read an issue, it feels like I have a baby and I'm being fucking attacked by everything, struggling to survive, struggling to defend my baby's existence, why I need it. Like, it's just, I can't get over how much I relate to a young mother's perspective in this book more than anything else. I'm serious. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I can appreciate a mother's perspective. I feel for it so much.
Yeah.
And she feels so vulnerable, and they just keep carrying on throughout. Like, okay, I guess we're going to do this. And I guess we're going to do this. There's such different books though, you know, like as we're describing them, like as you're describing this one, I was like, God, that's nothing like what this is. But it's so like, I don't know, they're so different. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm okay with putting Wildstorm above Baby Teeth. I'm not going to give much grief because it's still 4 on the list. Okay?
I hate to do this also, but you did also get Skyward on this.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. I feel less guilty. Let's do the Wildstorm number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, the
Baby
Wildstorm.
Teeth is 4.
And Baby Teeth is 4. Okay. All right. I got 5, 6, and 7. Remaining books are Saga, Thanos, and Ice Cream Man?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanos we both have as 5.
But we both had either Saga or Ice Cream Man above it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. So maybe Thanos should be 7.
Shit. Maybe it should.
Maybe it should be 6. Because I had Ice Cream Man under Thanos.
Yeah, well, I had Saga under Thanos.
So yeah, so Thanos should be 7. Or Thanos should be in the middle of what we have left, so it should be 6.
But I would be okay with Thanos being 7. Because one or both of us feels strongly about either of these books being higher on the list.
Okay.
You feel stronger about Saga being on the list, and I feel stronger about Ice Cream Man being higher on the list.
Yes.
So I think by default, I should put Thanos at 7.
I think that's a good move.
Okay. So now we have Ice Cream Man, and we have
Saga. I think that Saga is the best thing. Like, I think it's one of the best things out there. I think it's one of the best worlds, most different worlds, and it's so and I don't know if we're taking consistency into it, but I think it's more consistent than Ice Cream Man. I think Ice Cream Man is great. I think each single issue has some of the best writing in terms of, I mean, I guess that's a horror, but it's not like scary. It's more like unsettling and just like makes you feel icky, you know?
Yeah.
But I think in terms of narrative storytelling, I think Saga has it beat. But it's also not about, well, it is about narrative storytelling, kind of. And I think the meld of
I think you have
art,
a point about consistency, about the idea that, like, even this far into the book, it's still this fucking good. It's an incredible book. Saga at number 5.
Okay.
So that leaves us with Ice Cream Man at number 6.
Mm-hmm.
I know I put Ice Cream Man really high. Something about seeing it next to Thanos like that. He's giving a little bit of pause.
Why? Because you like Thanos better?
Theoretically, I shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
I don't know. All these things are so weird.
You can't let that... We put work into this list. Okay. I think this is what we got to stick with.
All right. Well, let's read it off and see how we feel. Okay? All right. So the list as we have merged them right now. At number 10, we have Kill or Be Killed.
Mm-hmm.
At number 9, we have Justice League Dark. At number 8, Skyward.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Thanos. That is specifically Thanos by Donny Cates. I've said that like 10 times.
Because Jeff Lemire does it before that.
It was a continuation of Jeff. No, anyways, it was the same numbering.
Yeah.
Anyways, specifically by Donny Cates. Number 6, Ice Cream Man. Number 5, Saga. Number 4, Baby Teeth. Number 3, The Wild Storm. Number 2, Gideon Falls. And number 1, Mr. Miracle.
Mr. Miracle. God.
There was never any question, I think, for either of us going into this. Like, there was no book.
12 issues just bonkers, fucking, not even bonkers, just like,
mind-blowingly good, this book.
Every single time.
Every issue, like, no question, it is the best book of the year. I thought it was fucking nuts. IGN had, like, a voting thing for, like, best comic of the year.
Yeah.
Not even an option.
What? People really don't like Tom King. I think that's it. People don't like him.
I don't understand it. Ugh. Anyways, do we feel confident about this list?
I feel confident. I think that's
I feel good about this list. I think this is a good list.
God, that was so much.
Whew.
That was an experience.
That was an experience. I am happy.
Wow.
I'm happy with this list.
Wow.
All right. So, that is Best Comic Series for 2018.
As our ordered list of 10.
All right. So, that does it for Best Comic Series for 2018. So, we're going to move on into our second category here. So, the rest of the categories on this episode are going to be shorter. We're not going to make a list, but we're going to be picking one winner. And we're going to have 2 runners-up for all of these categories. So,
Doug, it's so weird. I feel like we've had so long between... Why has it been so long since we did that Best Comic Series thing? Isn't that so weird?
we are recording the next day. But
Happy
anyways...
New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve for us.
Happy New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve for anybody who's listening on the day we release this as well.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways... this is best short form comic. So basically the criteria for this was anything that was an issue or less this year. So these are stories that would have taken place in anthology titles, such as, like, there's a bunch from Action Comics 1000, there's a bunch from holiday specials, there's some annuals.
Annuals, yeah.
Or any one-shots that we had. So,
or random huge collections of comics that were released in small formats.
Well, yes, okay.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But anyways, so these are largely superhero stuff, with like a couple exceptions on here. I mean, that's just mostly where we get a lot of this kind of content from.
Yeah.
So, the nominees we've got for Best Short Form Comic. We want to alternate again here?
Yeah, we're alternating.
Read that first one.
Okay. The first one is Peter Meets a Spider from Doctor Strange, number 390.
Okay. True Strength from Batman Secret Files.
Strange Neapolitan, which is an issue of Ice Cream Man.
Okay. I'm not sure which issue it is, but...
it's gotta be number 5 or 6.
Something like that. Father's Day, which is Batman Annual number 3.
Witch's Bad Egg, which is actually like 18 parts, but each part is 2 pages. So it's 1.
They released the whole thing as a single special for Halloween, so we're counting it as a single issue. It's large.
It's very large.
But it's...
You can't really put it in an ongoing or comic series. It's not...
No.
It is a series, theoretically.
It's a single issue. It's not a whole, like, graphic novel. It's in a weird no man's land. So
Image Plus magazine.
The closest thing to factor it into, we figured, was best short form. So
yeah.
We've got Strange Way to Go, which is the last issue of Donny Cates' run on Doctor Strange 390.
I just realized that Peter Meets a Spider is kind of a part of that.
It is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They're very different. Chip Zdarsky, in fact, helps write Peter Meets a Spider. Whatever. The 5th season from Action Comics 1000, which features Lex Luthor and Superman. I forgot his name for a second.
Faster Than a Speeding Bullet, also from Action Comics 1000. Yep.
Of Tomorrow from Action Comics 1000.
I have here as a thing which I think we did say Strange Neapolitan. This entry does say literally any other issue of Ice Cream Man.
Because it is an anthology series, inherently.
Yep. And they're all great.
Oh, yes. Your Big Day from DC Nation number 0, going into the very controversial wedding.
Yellow Jack, which was an Etrigan horror story from Cursed Comics Cavalcade, the Halloween special this year.
Okay. I thought you were just being racist. Sorry. Strange Visitor from Cursed Comics Cavalcade.
Okay. We've got Memory Hearth from DC Nuclear Winter Special.
Ooh. Swamp Thing Winter Special, which was in January of last year. God, that was so long ago.
That's another very oversized thing, but again, single issue.
It was yeah.
The Comfort of the Good from Thanos Annual.
That was the Fraser Irving one, right?
Yes. That is the last one in there with Fraser Irving.
And also from Thanos Annual, that time Thanos helped an old lady cross the street. Which, oh god, that was my favorite from Thanos Annual because I thought it was amazing how are we going to talk about these at all? I'm just going to say a little bit because they literally... You can talk
about any of them you want, yeah.
Thanos helped an old lady across the street because it would have a bad effect in the future. I thought that was just like the funniest thing in the world. I don't even know who wrote it. I think we tried to look it up. I don't even know. I don't even remember. But I love it.
Okay. All right. So, I think how we decided we're going to do this is that we are each going to nominate 2 of these. Mm-hmm. We're not going to go through the whole cutting and locking thing.
Otherwise, we'll be here for a day.
Yes. So we're just going to, we're going to each nominate 2 things that we think are worthy of winning or being one of the runners-up. And then from those, we're going to, pick 1 winner, 2 runners-up. So,
yes.
All right. So, Jack, what are your 2 picks?
Okay. So I'm just saying 2.
You're just saying 2. I mean, should we tier them? Like the first choice and the second choice?
I'm just going to say 2.
Just say 2.
Okay.
All right.
My 2 are literally any other issue of Ice Cream Man, which I'm going to pick one.
Okay, you have to
I'm going to pick one.
Okay.
It's going to be there's an issue. It was not the most recent issue, the second most recent issue of Ice Cream Man, where there's a little girl who has recently had her friend pass. And she seems to be a little delusional in playing with her friend still. Her parents are worried that she's not accepting her friend's death, and her dad's being kind of a dick about it the whole time. It sounds like a regular old Ice Cream Man story, where a nice protagonist, this little girl, is delusional in some way, and it's going to lead them down a path where they're going to have some fucked up shit happen to them. Oh, God. But then, this character that... Oh, is it? Oh, no, yeah, second to last. This character, My Little Poltergeist.
That is the title. That is the title of the issue.
And then the character that's been showing up... at the end, it looks like this girl's going to get murdered or tortured by this Ice Cream Man, evil Ice Cream Man. But then this character that has been showing up every once in a while, who's a cowboy, who is theoretically the good in people, shows up and saves her, and it becomes a happy ending. And the family lovingly hugs each other and everything. I just think that this is the best thing of Ice Cream Man because it turns the formula on its head, and it's still amazingly done as a story. And I loved that, and I thought just it just is the climax kind of that book in a way. And I don't know. That was my favorite Ice Cream Man. I think that deserves to be one of my picks. My other one is the Swamp Thing Winter Special by Tom King, because that was still very early in my comics reading, and one of the first things of Swamp Thing I read, and I think it encapsulates the idea of kind of mental illness, but even just mental burden in any way, like so well. Should I go over like what it was about to remind?
Yeah,
okay,
like if you want to.
Basically, and this is spoilers for that Winter Special. Maybe I won't do spoilers, but the entire time I was going to say Thanos because you're looking at the whatever. Swamp Thing is, trudging through this winter wasteland, and there is a little boy next to him who Swamp Thing is theoretically saving this little boy from a monster that the little boy keeps referring to. Like, is the monster going to get us? Is the monster going to get us? And it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. And I think they use, specifically on the cover, they have these warm colors in the center of him and like all the white on the outside of him. I think they use those colors to the great benefit of the entire story. I think that it's just an amazing single issue, and it was one of the things that I feel like I appreciated artistically most in this past year. So those are my 2 picks.
Okay, great. Those are 2 excellent stories.
I do have a slight tier to mine, which I know of, so I don't know.
All right. So you nominated Swamp Thing Winter Special, and it was My Little Poltergeist.
My Little Poltergeist.
I'm going to add that to the nominees here.
Not to be confused with My Little Thanos from the Thanos Annual, which was also
very funny.
A good honorable mention.
All right, so we'll just do that and this. Okay, so highlighted both of those. So my 2 nominations, funnily enough, 2 different things.
Oh, 2 different things. Wow.
2 different things. Although both of those are excellent.
Thank you.
So my 2 nominations are Your Big Day. Ooh. From DC Nation #0.
I was thinking about that one.
So that's a story by Tom King, Clayman.
The Clayman, I'm sorry.
The Man of Clay. It is a prelude short story to the wedding special in Batman this year. So it was a story in which the Joker would like an invite to the wedding.
He's waiting for it.
He's waiting for it at a random citizen's house. So he has broken into, or he threatens his way into this man's house with a gun. Mm-hmm. Is basically holding him holding him hostage with a gun.
Yeah.
While they wait for his invitation to show up to the wedding, to this random man's house.
Yeah, no reason why it should be there.
No reason why they would, 1, invite the Joker to their wedding. 2, why they would send it to this random man's house. 3, why they would know he was there. It makes no sense. It's such a perfect, it's a short story that gives you everything you want from the Joker in that, he's erratic and irrational. He is hyper, he's just super clever. He's just tons of great one-liners in that story. He's telling jokes and they're genuinely funny, but also terrifying.
Yeah.
He is super threatening in that story. And it's just I think it's a really great, full story short story. I think it's a really wise, narrow scope in that story.
I also think the way that the random citizen plays off of the Joker is absolutely great.
Yes.
Not to mention the way Clayman draws the Joker, I think, is some of the best.
That was I had seen Clayman stuff before that series, that story, and I was like, oh yeah, this is very solid. This is very good superhero stuff. And then I saw that story, I was like, oh shit, Clayman he's got the stuff here. Yeah. He's really good. I'm sure he'd done other amazing stuff before that, but for whatever reason, that was the first thing that really kind of hit me in a way that really impressed me.
I think there are just a lot of really close-ups of Joker's face, and the way it is just menacing and just, I don't know about funny, but it's just menacing and playful at the same time.
Yeah,
it's just perfect.
It's incredible. So yeah, that's my first nominee here, and then my second nominee, a little lighter. Is Peter Meets a Spider. I just I looked at this list and I'm trying to be so like, I'm trying to be like, oh, what's the most meaningful story, or what's the best short story here? And I honestly think it's one of the cleverest short stories in a comic book this year, and also it's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing on this list by far.
Oh, easily.
It's a really funny, clever idea, and I just love. So Peter Parker sees a spider at Doctor Strange's
No, he
home.
brings the spider.
He brings the spider. Peter, did you bring a spider? So he brings the spider. This is in the kind of the rest of the issue. So it's kind of a short story in an issue. But rest of the issue done by Fraser Irving. It's beautiful. But so he asks Doctor Strange, like, no, he won't say it. And so Doctor Strange is just like, Peter, do you want to talk to the spider? And Peter just makes this like really excited face. Anyways, that's outside of the short story. But so then you get page turn, and it's a Chip Zdarsky drawn. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if he scripted
Donny Cates and Chip. It says by Donny Cates and Chip Zdarsky. Okay. So who knows?
So I'm not sure how the writing was broken down. Yeah. Because it definitely did feel like somewhat like a Chip Zdarsky thing, but Chip Zdarsky definitely drew it. Donny Cates was also writing. So it was just a really nice surprise in that issue. It's really funny. It's just Peter and an anthropomorphic spider on a beach, and they're like skipping rocks, and the spider's like, so when you web up your victims, like, do you inject them with a paralytic before you eat them, or like, do you suck out their guts? And he's just like, oh, I don't do that. And at the end, the like resolution of the story is just the spider being like, well, one, it's like, you're kind of a shitty spider. Yeah. And then him being like, well, if you have the proportional strength of a spider and everything, you must have the proportional lifespan. So, you're probably due to die any day now. And
well, Peter's just adult life cycle.
Yeah, Peter's just terrified. Yeah. It's so fucking funny. And like, I would be remiss if I did not nominate it, just because like it is, like, despite being very silly and somewhat throwaway, like, it is one of the things on this list, maybe the thing on this list that has stuck in my mind the most, that I think about the most of any of these short stories. Mm-hmm. And comedy should count here.
Oh, so. Totally. I can't believe it took till now for someone to like do something like that. You know what I mean? So many comedy writers have written Spider-Man. You'd think someone would have some random. I mean, maybe there is, but it's just.
It's very funny.
God. Two great picks.
So those are our 4 picks. So of those, we are going to pick a winner and 2 runners up. So one of these has gotta go. Unfortunately.
I know. Okay, so oh God. I was really thinking about both your 2 that you picked.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm sticking to Swamp Thing Winter Special. As much as I want Ice Cream Man and some indie comics to have, not indie, but like Ice Cream Man and whatever, have some things, I think it deserves to be somewhere close to these, but I did have so much enjoyment out of both those other ones that you have. I'm willing to let My Little Poltergeist go.
Okay. All right.
It's just, I love that book, and I think it's amazing. If we're thinking about short form storytelling, I may have picked My Little Poltergeist because of its place in the series also, which shouldn't count as much. So that's why I'm willing to do it, because there are elements in it that do have to do with the long running series.
That one actually really does have to do a lot with kind of the ongoing plot of that series.
So I get that, and I'll take that. I still think it's amazing. Okay. But, yes, that is my choice. I don't know what to pick as a winner still.
Oops. All right. So we've removed My Little Poltergeist, and we've got Swamp Thing Winter Special, Your Big Day, and Peter Meets a Spider. So, I
don't know. What are your thoughts on Swamp Thing Winter Special as its place in the list?
It feels something about putting Swamp Thing Winter Special, or like if we had nominated Witches on here, feels a little bit disingenuous just
Really?
because they're so long. Like calling it best short form comic.
Okay, I think you have a point about which is Bad Egg because it was theoretically done as a series in the back of a magazine. Now, Swamp Thing Winter Special was never released as a series. Sure. It was always a single story, and it wasn't that entire book also. Remember that Len Wein, the last thing he drew or something.
That's true.
He wrote was at the back of it. So it really wasn't that much longer.
How many pages it was?
I don't know. I mean, if you want to get that nitpicky, go ahead.
I just want to find out. No, I'm just curious. I'll look it up later.
No, I know.
But
the Swamp Thing Winter Special.
No, you're right. You're right.
I think the Swamp Thing Winter Special, more than anything else, like, really has it has a point to it. It says a very specific thing about people and as they relate to what Swamp Thing is going through, which I think is such a cool thing. And as I'm reading more Alan Moore Swamp Thing stuff now, I see that they do really try and make him relate to people all the time, which is some of the coolest shit I've ever seen. But I think with Tom King's view of mental illness, it seems like that's a big deal for him. I think the way he portrays it in that book, the way that, and I'm going to spoil it now, Swamp Thing Winter Special, skip a little bit if you want to read it, honestly, it's still a great craft. Nonetheless, so this whole time he's carrying this kid with him, and the kid's like, we have to run away from the winter monster. It's like something about the snowy monster or something like that. And Swamp Thing was like, okay, I always imagine he's
going Swamp Thing voice. Okay.
Those dot dot dots.
Yeah. He always sounds very out of breath.
Yeah. Exactly. Even though he doesn't breathe, probably.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean? He gets energy from the sun. He doesn't...
It was winter. No, but he always does that. Anyways.
Yeah. Nonetheless, it turns out at the end that this kid is the monster that he's been carrying with him, that he's been protecting. And it just hits you really, really... It hit me really, really hard to think about how people carry burdens with them willingly and, as a sense of pride even. And it may be hurting them over and over again, but the one thing that they should do maybe is to let them go, which is what Swamp Thing does at the end. And then it turns to spring, and I think it's just a great encapsulation, really, really clever way to show that sort of struggle in someone. And I don't know, it really, really hit me when I read it, and I loved that.
Okay. I would be okay with that winning.
Really?
Yes, I would. I also feel very strongly about Your Big Day. Shit. I don't know. It's so tough.
It is. I completely agree.
I don't think Peter Meets the Spider is going to win. I think Peter Meets the Spider needs to be a runner-up.
Well, it is.
Yes.
I completely agree.
But, Your Big Day is so good.
I know. I agree with you completely. I just think that Your Big Day is a fantastic look. I think Your Big Day is a fantastic representation of a character. Yes. And I think that is so amazing. And I think the way the art works with the character and the art works with that feeling of terrifying and playfulness, I think that's amazing. And I think the absurdity of it is amazing. I just think that the way that Swamp Thing feels like akin to the character, the way the art works with the character, as well as the greater, not message, but the greater, idea behind it and how it's represented and how it's not heavy-handed. It's not like, oh, this is what people go through every day. It's not, and I'm not saying that's what this is. I just think as an all-in-all package, it's like an absolutely beautifully, you're looking at things like this. I just love the progression of that beginning progression of spring turning into winter and then us, I don't know. It's just a beautiful piece of art. I think the Swamp Thing Winter Special, and I think that's my dealio. That's my dealio.
Sorry. I'm just looking through it. So
I need to read this again.
It's okay. It's not that long.
It's not that long.
It's, it's about regular issue length. So it's like one shot length.
Yeah.
So that's fine. It is fucking beautiful. I forgot how much I liked this.
Who does draw this?
This is Jason Fabok.
Jason Fabok. I haven't read a lot by him.
Yeah.
He's...
and by the way, specifically, just because I forgot, there was that backup story in here. This actual story we are talking about in Swamp Thing Winter Special is the Talk of Saints.
Of the Saints.
The Talk of the Saints. So that's specifically. So let's actually refer to it as that. The Talk of the Saints. Which feels weird because we've never referred to it as that before.
No, not at all.
But that is what the story is called. Mm-hmm. As opposed to the Len Wein backup in the back. Yes. So I think I think I would be totally cool with that winning. It's an excellent story. I think it's got a little more kind of story heft to it. Mm-hmm. Like Your Big Day is Your Big Day and Peter Meets the Spider in dramatic and comedic ways are both kind of just examinations of a character. And that's great.
And they're great scenes, I think.
But Swamp Thing Winter Special manages to be that while also delivering a really poignant short story plot. Mm-hmm. So, and it is gorgeous. I was just looking at...
I'm glad you have it up. Yeah, it's I love that shit.
It's absolutely excellent. So, all right. So let's call that then. We're calling
the best short form comic. The Talk of the Saints from the Swamp Thing Winter Special.
Yes, the Talk of the Saints from Swamp Thing Winter Special is our winner, with runners up Your Big Day from DC Nation number 0 and Peter Meets a Spider from Doctor Strange number 390. So that feels good to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay, now we are going to be on to some creative categories here.
Hey.
Next category we're going to do is Best Comic Writer. So, again, we are going to each nominate 2 and then pick 1 winner, 2 runners up. So, you went first last time, so I'll go first this time, make it fair. Mm-hmm. So, I am going to nominate 2 writers who I think have produced a wide breadth of consistently great comics. So the two people I am nominating here are Jeff Lemire, mm-hmm. Who this year came out with Black Hammer: Age of Doom, mm-hmm. The Quantum Age, Cthulhu's all amazing extensions of Black Hammer,
Dr. Star.
Oh shit, I forgot about Dr. Star.
Descender.
Gideon Falls. Yes.
Royal City too. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
You got to read that.
It's all amazing work. I haven't read Royal City, but you've told me it's good. So I think he's just putting out consistently solid stuff, especially considering recent years where he'd done some not so great stuff. He's also doing Terrifics at DC, which we've both really been enjoying. So even in his Big 2 work, he's putting out better stuff at the Big 2 than he's been putting out.
Yeah, but
it's been an excellent year for him.
That's what you told me, because I know you always told me that it's never a sure thing with his Big 2 stuff. That it's always creator-owned stuff is the most. Always good stuff usually.
But he found a stride with Terrifics, mm-hmm. Even if it took a little bit of time. But this year in Terrifics was excellent. Mm-hmm. I think it's a really fun book.
I'm so glad you got me back on it.
Yeah. So that's my first nominee. My second nominee, I wanted to be more creative with this one. I wanted to pick someone different. And then I looked through the things, and I was like, okay, what did each of these people come out with? And I got to this person, and I was like, oh, shit, there's so much. I can't not. I can't not. So I nominate Donny Cates. Like fucking Thanos, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Death of the Inhumans, Doctor Strange, and Baby Teeth. That is a hell of a list of books.
I know.
That is a hell of a list of books. All of those, I think, were in tight contention for being on our top 10 of the year list.
Yeah, easily.
So, and Baby Teeth and Thanos both made it on. Mm-hmm. he's putting out amazing work. They've all got his specific signature spin on them.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell a Donny Cates book when you read it. And I think this, like, he kind of broke out last year a bit, but this was the year that he really solidified himself as, like, I am an important voice in the industry.
Well, it gave him a lot to work with, which it seems like that was a really special part of it. And going into next year, God, I'm so excited. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm so excited for that shit.
Yes. Yes, that is highly anticipated.
Okay, can't get over it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Doug, we're gonna have a little bit of a problem.
Okay.
So I picked 2 people.
Did you pick the same 2 people?
Yeah. But I also have a third name on here that I was deciding between.
Okay, alright, well, let's go with that then.
Well, no, I want to make it clear that I decided on those 2 people.
No, yes.
But
I know. It's just, okay, that's funny.
Because of his work, I mean, it's just when you look at the...
That's gonna make the winner hard, but...
I know, but when you look at this, like, list, like, it's just, when you talk about consistency and, like, flexibility in different styles and, like, just giving you different feelings throughout while having that same voice. Not the same voice, but the same, like, I don't know how to describe it. The same writer's voice is a good way to describe it, I guess. You can't deny, like, it's just, they stick out. I think the other name that sticks out here, though, is Tom King.
It is.
I think that his work on Mr. Miracle, I mean, it was our #1 pick. I think that was an amazing piece that he put out that was, flexible within itself within the tone. I think that, what I've heard of the work on Batman, what I've read from his work on Batman randomly in I picked up an annual or whatever and read his story in there. I loved his story in Action Comics 1000. I loved The Your Big Day, which he wrote with Clayman. I also loved, Tom King started Heroes in Crisis, which I absolutely love as well. And I think that makes it so that his name should be considered as well. But I want to make it clear that my 2 were also Donny Cates and Jeff Lemire.
Okay, so you got an extra nomination.
Well, I'm sorry. If you had a number...
let me see here. I feel like I should get to pick someone else.
You should get to pick someone else.
Okay.
You're right.
All right.
Which I do have another name in mind, but I'm not going to sway you, but I have an idea what you might pick based off of consistency and...
well, maybe this one will be different.
Maybe it will be, but I don't know.
Okay. I think for my other nomination... I just want to, I want to give a shout out to, Magdalene Visaggio.
Oh, wow.
I think Eternity Girl, like I said, is a book that, like, I didn't really get when I first read it, but it's something that's really stuck with me. I think there's something really special about her scripting in that series. Mm-hmm. Also,
wait a minute.
When we're in the broader category, one sec.
Yes.
When we're in the broader category of comics outside of that list, it didn't get onto our top 3 in best short form comic, but Strange Visitor is a really good Superman horror story.
Oh, really?
In Cursed Comics Cavalcade. It's excellent. I think that specifically why I want to nominate her is we ended up deciding on not having a breakout creator category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think specifically for her, she's a name that we had never heard of before.
Yeah.
So I think that this was an excellent debut for her. I think that she's like a surprising new voice with a distinct writing style, who I think, like, I don't know that I'm going to say I think she should win this category, but I think that she's a really strong new voice, and that I think the coming years for her are going to be she is going to become a big important voice in the industry.
I also heard that I didn't read the new talent showcase that DC put out in December, but apparently her story in there was absolutely great as well. One of the best in there. I think I don't remember what it was about. I'm not going to say it at all because I don't remember. But I mean, I could feel that. I thought I was wrong. I did not know that you're going to pick that.
Also,
the thing I wanted to say was we never listed off our list.
We didn't. Oh, wow. Okay, so we didn't read the list. Wow. Holy crap. So our list we put together, I'm just going to read them real quick.
Just read them really quick.
Okay.
Wait, do we want to give the title that we're putting them, or titles that we have them on here for?
Sure. So we have Joe Henderson on here for Skyward.
Who's a new comic writer. He wrote Fox's Lucifer, and this is his first comic ever, and I think it's awesome.
Okay. We have Gerard Way on here for both Doom Patrol and Umbrella Academy. Mm-hmm. We have Ed Brubaker for Killer Be Killed. We have Chip Zdarsky on here for Marvel 2-in-1. Also, Peter Meets a Spider.
Yeah, Peter Meets a Spider.
We have Mariko Tamaki, who did... What did...
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Book that Jack really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. James Tynion IV for Justice League Dark.
And Detective Comics.
Yes, he did finish up Detective Comics this year. Yes, correct. Al Ewing for The Immortal Hulk. Mm-hmm.
And also a quick shout out for his You Are Deadpool. That was
one of the... That?
Yes, that was one of my favorite... I should have added that to there because you need to read it still.
Okay.
It's... Okay. Hilarious. Go ahead.
We have Jeff Johns for Doomsday Clock. We have Magdalene Visaggio for the things I mentioned earlier. We have W. Maxwell Prince for Ice Cream Man. We have Donny Cates, again, for so many things. Warren Ellis for The Wild Storm. I'm trying to think if there was anything else this year.
He has some James Bond things, right?
That was older. I don't think that was this year.
Well, he really.
I don't remember when the injection
took its break.
Took a really long break, but anyways, Brian K. Vaughan for Saga and Paper Girls.
Barrier also. Sorry,
I'm trying to think if that first was published this year.
Barrier,
because it was a web comic.
Oh, you're right. It was just printed. You're right.
It may still have come out this year. I don't remember. Tom King for Mr. Miracle, for Batman, for Swamp Thing Winter Special. Yes, tons of great stuff. Jeff Lemire, again, everything Black Hammer, and then Gideon Falls, on and on and on. Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh, yeah.
Oof, I totally glanced over that name when looking at this list. That's painful. Okay, ooh, all right, probably got to move on from that. Superman, Action Comics, Cover, Pearl.
Oh, God, I forgot about all that shit.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah,
I might put him above Tom King, actually.
I think it was specifically... I mean, like, it was a really good year for Tom King. It was an especially good year for Brian Michael Bendis.
In terms of, like, how long of a career he's had, and coming to do this new creative opportunity, and just putting out fucking book after book that's just...
Yeah.
God damn.
They're all so good. They're all a cut above what he was doing at Marvel for a long time. It really seems to have revitalized his career and his voice, while he's still doing the Brian Michael Bendis thing, you know?
Yeah.
I think he's doing excellent work at DC. I think he's really making Superman work in a way that he hasn't for a while. Like the previous Superman series from Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason and other artists was good. This is just so much more.
Yeah,
I think his dual runs on Superman in Action. So yeah,
I know.
That's a tough one, but we are in agreement that Donny Cates and Jeff Lemire are definitely on there. Can we agree on Donny Cates winning? Or does it need to be one of these other people?
Wait, do you want to finish the list?
Oh, did I not? Chelsea Kane for Maneaters.
Oh, God, you have to read that
and
book.
Rick Remender for...
Black Science, for Death or Glory.
7 to Eternity.
7 to Eternity.
Yes. Still putting out hell of a list of books there.
That's really tough for me because I think when you break down series by series, I do think Jeff Lemire puts out consistently.
No, make more sounds.
I know. Part of me thinks that Donny Cates puts out more, like, awesome things, but I feel like Jeff Lemire puts out more amazing things. Can I use more hyperbolic terminology?
Yeah, just more. Yeah.
Like, okay, Jeff Lemire, I think, puts out a quality that is absolutely beautiful and astounding. I think Donny Cates gets there a lot, like so many times with so many things. I just think that in terms of consistency at that level, I think Jeff Lemire.
You think Jeff Lemire's work has more depth? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Consistently. I think Donny Cates gets there all the time. But I think if we're talking about over series that are completely different from each other, I think between like Gideon Falls, I know you don't read Royal City, but it's just, he puts out so many different things and they're all at that same, like, just absolutely beautiful level.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Donny Cates.
I can see that. Like, yeah, like there were years there where like Jeff Lemire was putting out great stuff.
Yeah.
It was also among some middling stuff. Like it was usually a decent bet, but not always like up to that level. But this year has been an excellent year for him. He's been putting out a lot of really terrific stuff. Even at the big two, like terrifics. Yeah. Are you saying you think Jeff Lemire could win? Because that was initially actually my instinct, and then I remembered Donny Cates and got distracted. I think it could be Jeff Lemire.
I would be in agreement. I keep thinking about other things that Donny Cates did, and it's making me sad. But I think when you think about all the work,
okay,
Jeff Lemire.
So Jeff Lemire is going to be the winner, and then Donny Cates is a runner-up. So who gets our third spot?
My vote is Brian Michael Bendis. I just completely forgot about it. And I think just in terms of like his career where it was, I mean, it's not even that it was bad. Like I honestly, I can't really say that much. But I can only think that, being at Marvel, he felt like he was trudging along, but going to DC, like he didn't change anything about his writing style, it seemed. He just was invigorated creatively, seemingly, and he just, like, I didn't think I would be this into a Superman comic at all. And he's just doing things that I'm just like, oh shit, this is fucking awesome. Like, it's, and with Cover and Pearl and all that other, I forgot about all that shit. And it's just, goddamn.
Yeah.
Cover specifically, because I dropped off.
I would be cool with putting on here. It feels nuts to me not putting Tom King on, but there's something about the explosion of creativity that has come from Bendis since moving to DC. Yeah. That I really think is commendable. That is worth rewarding. Like that he has whatever it was about doing that, whether it was the change of people around him, whether it was simply just having new characters to work with, whatever it was, something like gave his work new life and like a new sense of it was reinvigorated. Like he's giving his all to this, and it's excellent. I'm a huge fan. And we couldn't find a way to dually honor Action Comics and Superman. Yeah, but I think it is worth considering them as a pair here. Oh, easily. And them as a pair is one of my favorite comic book experiences of the year. I think that would be a solid choice. Yeah, definitely. And then you mentioned Magdalena Visaggio. I think you're completely right in that she should be a part of this conversation. I'm really excited to see what she does in the next year because I agree. She's an absolutely amazing new voice. Yes. And it's going to be really, really cool to see what new things she brings to the table. Yeah, I think she's an exciting, different voice. Oh, yeah. She brings a very different perspective. Oh, totally. So, all right. So, I think we're in agreement then. So, our winner there is Jeff Lemire. Went a different way than I was expecting. I always think of a cat
when I think of Jeff Lemire's.
What?
I don't know. I just feel like that's like a name of a cat. Like, oh, that's Lemire. Like, I don't know. His last name.
Lemire. Okay, sure. I could see it. Like it's like a French name for a cat,
Yeah, like I would name a cat Jeff Lemire, honestly.
or a candelabra.
I would name a cat Jeff Lemire. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna name my cat if I ever have a cat.
You're gonna name it Jeff Lemire.
I'm gonna name it Jeff Lemire. I'm sure Samantha would be fine with it.
All right. So our best comic writer category was won by Jeff Lemire. Runners up, Donny Cates and Brian Michael Bendis. So I can't believe I didn't read the nominees before we started.
That was really fun.
Anyways, all right.
It happens.
All right. Moving right along, our next category for today is Best Comic Artist. There's a lot of names on this list, and we will make sure to actually read it up front this time.
Yes, definitely.
We've got Jerome Opeña on here for Seven to Eternity.
Yes. Eric Powell for Hillbilly and Others? Mostly Hillbilly?
It's mostly Hillbilly. I'm trying to think if he had any... I'm sure he did other things.
At some point.
That's the main thing.
Okay.
Olivier Coipel, who we have on here for The Magic Order. Also, he had the car in Action Comics 1000, the one about the car from the cover of Action Comics #1.
That's so cool. That was great. Oh, God.
That was great.
He's great.
Great story. I should put that one in the nominees. But
seriously.
Yeah.
Dean Ormston for Black Hammer, Age of Doom, basically.
Okay. We have Ivan Rice. For Superman.
Superman, okay. Rod Reese.
Yeah. And also parts of The Man of Steel.
Oh, yeah. Rod Reese, I never know which one is which. I'm sorry.
He did some of the issues of Damnation.
Okay, the good ones.
Yeah, Doctor Strange Damnation.
Okay.
Yes, the good ones. The gorgeous ones. We've got John Davis Hunt for The Wildstorm. He's just...
Yeah.
He's very good.
Alvaro Martinez Bueno, whose art is Bueno in Justice League Dark, mainly.
Okay. We have Dustin Nguyen for Descender.
Patrick Gleason for the Tomasi Superman, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Also for Bendis' Action Comics.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Matteo Scalera for Black Science.
Mitch Gerrits for Mr. Miracle.
We have Jeff Shaw for Thanos. Was there anything?
Covers of Marvel Knights.
I guess, yeah, covers would factor in.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Yeah, sure.
He's going to have a big year with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, boy, I didn't even consider covers. Oh, okay.
I know.
Boy, all right. Oh, well, that makes this next one hard. Nick Darrington.
I know, I was thinking about that.
Nick Darrington.
Doom Patrol and the covers of Mr. Miracle.
They're really good covers.
They're great covers. They're some of the best covers of the year, I think, honestly.
For some reason, I feel like I prefer the Mitch Gerrits covers.
Really?
But they're both excellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Nick Darrington.
Lee Weeks.
He did that Cold Days arc on Batman with the 12 Angry Men thing with Mr.
you were
Freeze.
telling me about. Okay.
Yeah, he's also done a bunch of other stuff on Tom King's Batman.
Okay, but not enough. It's weak that he didn't do enough.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We've got Clayman. Yeah, so various arcs on Tom King's Batman. Also, he's doing Heroes in Crisis, and he did Your Big Day. So yeah, excellent work.
And then we have Gary Frank for Doomsday Clock.
Fraser Irving, who did The Comfort of the Good in Thanos Annual.
Strange Way, the last issue of Doctor Strange.
Yes, A Strange Way to Go, yeah.
A bunch of shit. God,
a million amazing covers.
He does a lot of covers. He does a lot of single stories. I was actually just asking Doug about like a full series from Fraser Irving because I love his art. I know it's very divisive, but I really want to read Annihilator by Grant Morrison and Fraser Irving.
Okay.
That's
we've got Fiona Staples for Saga.
Oh, yeah.
Continues to be amazing.
Always. Gabriel Hardman released the original graphic novel Green Lantern Earth 1, which was beautiful. I don't know what else.
He also did Yellow Jack in Cursed Comics Cavalcade, the Etrigan story.
Okay.
Yes, very good. We have Ian McEwan, I believe is how his name is pronounced, who did the art on 1975 or MCM LXXV, which is the art is
the main thing.
The main part, the most like the best part of that book, and it is excellent world building and action. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sunny Liu for Eternity Girl, which disgusting and beautiful at the same time at points.
We have Joe Bennett for Immortal Hulk.
We have Lee Garbett for Skyward, which I can't even say enough about.
We have Lorenzo De Felici
Oblivion Song.
For Oblivion Song.
Oh, I'm so excited. Just so everyone knows, I lent Doug my first volume of Oblivion Song so he can read it.
All right.
Thank God.
We have David Mack for cover and various covers.
And various covers. Speaking
gorgeous covers.
Those Superman variants that he drew.
Superman covers.
I can't get over that.
Good God.
Joshua Hickson for Shanghai Red. He did great stuff on there.
Yeah. Sean Phillips for Killer Be Killed.
Doug Monkey. He did some Detective Comics. He's doing all of Detective Comics. Actually, he did one issue of Detective Comics just now. What else has he done?
He did a bunch of stuff on Tomasi and Gleason's Superman. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like there was more stuff, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a monkey.
We have Wilfredo Torres, who did The Quantum Age with Jeff Lemire.
Max Fiumara, which was Dr. Star with Jeff Lemire.
And Lee Bermejo, really holding down the fort on Batman Damned. Boy,
the only reason I would get any more issues of that.
Yeah, really make something that is quite unenjoyable, somewhat pleasurable to still kind of look at.
And the only man to draw an official Bat Dick.
The only man to do it.
Official Bat Dick, isn't that right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Although it doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't.
So
exists in our
that is our list.
Yes.
Of the first round nominees for best comic artist. So we're each going to nominate 2. It is your turn to go first.
I'm going to go first. Yeah.
All right. So who are you picking?
I am picking Alvaro Martinez Bueno for his work on Justice League Dark.
Okay.
I remember opening an issue. It was in the middle of Witching Hour, and I don't know how many times I've opened an issue. It was just fucking floored by how it looked. I was floored. And I don't know. It was just amazingly broad and amazingly detailed. And it wasn't busy, but it felt just this, it felt like I was there. And I don't know how many times I actually have that feeling. I can't get over how good it was. And I want him all the time. Doing fantastic landscapes everywhere. And it is truly bueno.
Truly bueno.
Truly bueno. My other pick is David Mack. Mainly for his work on cover. And I'm picking him because within cover, the difference of art style that he uses within one issue is just amazing. And in that series, more than anything else, I think they use the art to a point to drive the story. And I think that's just something I just am such a sucker for. And I can't think of anybody else other than those 2 that I would pick. I mean, I can. That was not the right thing to say. I fucking love those people, and that's why I picked them.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we've got 4 different nominees here.
Great. I would be surprised if we had
it's a huge list. Also, art is the most subjective thing.
Yeah.
My first nominee is Jerome Opeña. For Seven to Eternity. I feel like once we get into the kind of more argument, once we're trying to really narrow this down or to really pick someone, I'll pull up some art because you
Yeah.
need to fucking look at that book.
I know.
'Cause
I
it is-
remember reading X-Force
it
by
is
recommender Jerome Pena.
something.
I can
And
only imagine.
he's been, this year specifically, they've been in some settings that have been just insane. Cities held up by balloons in the sky, and
Oh my god.
it's incredible. That book is one of the most visually astounding comic books I've ever read. It's like nothing. It's like no other fantasy thing I've ever seen. The designs are incredible. It's not a new series for this year, but it continues to look, I think, better than pretty much anything else out there.
Well, we said issue 12 it's on, right?
Yes.
So it's probably mostly this year, right? Or a lot of
They
delays?
had a big break.
Okay,
So
they had a big
they had a few issues this year. They had at least 3.
Okay.
So we also have Mitch Gerrits,
Oh,
who
I knew you were going to do that.
Mr. Miracle is a book which is so mundane.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in it is so calm and quiet until it isn't. But and yet every moment, every conversation scene, every small exchange in that book is always imparted with so much meaning, so much, and they're a joy to read because Mitch Gerrits puts so much subtlety into them. He puts the characters are acting. Their emotions are always readable as the emotions they have. They are readable as complex emotions. You're getting more than just one thing out of them. Like he draws maybe the best acting in comics right now in terms of like characters emoting. He draws with so much more subtlety than anyone. He brings a sense of life to things that are so simple. And when the shit hits the fan, he draws an incredible action sequence. They feel brutal. They feel gut wrenching.
I know it was within the same issue that we had 9 panels of Darkseid eating a carrot. And we also had in the same issue him getting stabbed in the fucking neck by Mr. Miracle as he tries to get his baby back. Like, it's just, I know, as great as Tom King is, Mitch Gerrits is such a big, like, Mitch Gerrits wasn't the artist there. It would be not lost.
He makes that book.
It would be lost if it wasn't
Yes.
having that acting in there.
Yes. Like, Tom King's script is amazing. It is written knowing what Mitch Gerrits can do.
Oh, yeah.
It is written for the talent that man has, to his strengths, and he draws the absolute hell out of it. Yeah.
God.
Like,
Doug. God damn it.
he's probably my pick
For winner.
for winner.
It's... Also, just a note, I'm really excited to read. You haven't read Sheriff of Baghdad, or Babylon, we're supposed to call it, sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
It is Sheriff of Babylon. Yeah, they changed the title at one point. But
You haven't read it, right?
I have not read it.
Oh,
but,
God.
that is supposed to be very good.
That's on the top of my list. Goddamn. Mr. Miracle. Mr. Miracle. Oh, I would be fine with him winning. Oh,
With Mitch Gerrits.
Yeah, it's just, it's easy. It's really easy to think about art as like what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's really easy to think about art. And when I was thinking about these people, I was thinking about art as it looks. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking back, but then when you were talking about like all the acting and everything, you think about how his art feels. You think about how his art emotes, how it really just absolutely tells the small things about the story. And when you think about that and how difficult it is to do that within a book that is only 9-panel grids, it is only 9-panel grids, except for sometimes
There are exceptions.
where I think Darkseid is the only one that takes over 2 panels at some point.
Yeah, I don't recall specifically, but I feel like it has broken it, but it is 95% 9-panel grids at the very least.
The amount of work that must go into that many small pictures.
Yeah.
And the amount of work to put so much subtlety in there.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
and it's difficult to, it's like one of those things where you can't have all of these things, but like to have clarity in your work, so it's always understandable.
Yeah.
To have your own signature style, so it looks like your work. I was trying to think of a third thing that I can't think of, but like it's hard to have both those things.
Honestly, he uses action lines in a way that I
Yes.
love too. They're so like they're almost playful in some
They're
ways.
kind of comedic.
Yeah.
But like they really do help. And
Yeah.
they sell a comedic beat, and they help your understanding of the panel too. I love those little action lines.
I agree. Mitch Gerrits should be our winner here.
Yeah, I think specifically if we didn't give best writer to Tom King for Mr. Miracle,
Yeah.
Mitch Gerrits needs to win for it, because he's not carrying that book. They're both in there together.
Oh, yeah.
But like
There's
he is a huge part, if not the majority, of why that book is not just amazing, but a modern classic.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
so-
Absolutely.
So, all right. So, we have our winner.
What a man.
So we need to cut one of
We need
these.
to cut one. I mean, for me, I am much more attached to David Mack being a runner-up.
David Mack should be on here.
I think so. Alvaro Martinez Bueno, I absolutely love his landscapes and how he draws these amazing, I think it's just amazing how he draws both emoting and also just his, oh yeah, you're getting up Seven to Eternity.
Yeah.
Please. But the way you describe Seven to Eternity with differences of landscape sounds like exactly what I want from Alvaro Martinez Bueno in the future and what I get tastes of, I think, in Justice League Dark. But it sounds like you're getting the delivery from Seven to Eternity. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by like wanting that from Alvaro Martinez Bueno? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here, let me just show you some pages from this fucking thing. Like, look at this damn book. Look at this damn
Jesus
book. Like,
oh my god.
Like
Specifically with Rick Remender's style, I love it when he has. I mean, he usually has.
I'm trying to
find
a wide shot.
a huge
really
thing.
in this.
Not in this
one.
But I see what you mean. Like, oh my god,
it's an incredible book. I love Alvaro Martinez Bueno. I don't know that he's gonna beat
this
for
and I think
me.
that's what it comes down to. Yeah. What was
anyways, it's
full page up there.
But like, it's just, like he draws a damn
and these character designs
wide shot better than I think anyone else.
Can you go up to
comics.
the top of this? Down a little bit, down a little bit, down a little bit. This is great. There's not that. Right here.
Look at that. Like, look at this shit. What fantasy thing does this look like in your, like, it looks like no other comic or fantasy property I've ever seen in my life. It's incredible.
It really looks special. God.
The only reason I wouldn't be arguing harder for him to win is simply because this is a known thing. Like, this is a book that has existed, I think, on a pure, like, Mr. Miracle was this year.
Yeah.
Mr. Miracle encapsulates kind of comics this year and the height of them, and Mitch Gerrits is at the forefront of that. This book is incredible looking.
I can't believe this
has been around
design.
for a few years, and there was a lot more of it in previous years.
The characters look so amazing to me, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I love this. Like, it's...
This dude's got a sword with an eye at it.
Yeah.
It's got, look at it.
I need to read this book, Doug.
You do. You really do.
What do they got?
Look at this pirate octopus king with this like rebreather thing on. And he's wearing like a general, like old timey, like revolutionary general outfit. It's crazy.
God. And I can only imagine how well this works with Rick Remender's style.
It does.
Oh,
It's an absolute perfect fit.
Because I remember I already said about X-Force, like that book was one of the first full stories I think I read. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be on here.
Yeah. You've convinced me.
Okay. All right. That's our 3 then.
Dear God.
I'm happy. I'm happy David Mack made it on here. I think that's a good pick.
I love with David Mack, I think that I love it when they use art to a point, and he uses differences in his art to a point to tell an amazing story and to emote something in a scene. And I just think it's unlike anything else.
Yeah, the way he shifts styles in that book
Yeah.
to a purpose is incredible.
Yeah.
And I think it's absolutely worth honoring. So our list is Best Comic Artist. Our winner is Mitch Gerrits. And then we have runners-up Jerome Opeña and David Mack.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to a couple colorists that I think have done amazing work this year.
We specifically were focusing on traditional penciler or penciler inker roles. We don't have time to go into all the other various roles that make a comic amazing, but yeah,
we just both talked about Dave Stewart. All his work that he's done with specifically Jeff Lemire actually this year, but I'm sure he does more. I just haven't seen it.
Still doing a lot of Hellboy stuff. It's very good.
Yeah, and it's just he does work on Gideon Falls. He does work on all the Black Hammer stuff, and he makes every single one different. I feel like a lot of times you can see a style.
Is he doing the colors on Quantum Age?
I think he is. I believe
I'll
he
look
is.
that
Go
up.
ahead and look it up. The other one that we wanted to give shout out to was Antonio Fabela. Antonio Fabela is such a big part of what's amazing about, I think, Saga he does colors for, right? No, he doesn't. I'm sorry. He does colors for Skyward.
No, Fiona Staples does everything on Saga.
He does colors for Skyward, which I think are amazing. He does colors, Antonio Fabela does colors for Thanos. I think he did it for...
Dave Stewart does do colors on Quantum Age. That book looks nothing like any of these other books.
Nothing like it at all.
And yet it's perfect.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And I think, unlike that, Antonio Fabela just keeps a consistent, amazing style. I think the way that he uses the differences between cold and warm colors and on a page and just as it looks, like as your eye tracks a scene, I think it's just, he knows exactly what to put there. Cosmic Ghost Rider, Thanos, a lot of stuff Donny Cates did, I guess, but also Skyward as well. Skyward is so different than those. Jesus. I think those two people are specifically ones that I've noticed this year at least.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
All right. So that's going to do it for Best Comic Artist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So next up here, we're going to try to go a little bit faster with these last few. We're only going to nominate one each. We'll try to pick another runner-up after that. So we are going to go into Best New Character.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to do Best New Character.
Best New Character.
Okay. So I'm going to go first here.
No, you're going to list it off.
Oh, you're right. Our nominees that we'd like to shout out here are Herb from the Quantum Age,
Milkman Man from Milk Wars,
okay, Inspector Insector from Black Hammer, the
Age of Doom,
Black Hammer Age of Doom, yeah,
Knoll from Venom, from Donny Cates,
Null, Ice Cream Man from Ice Cream Man,
Father Fred from Gideon Falls,
Norton Sinclair, also from Gideon Falls.
Pam Evans from MCM LXXV, or 1975.
Upside Down Man from Justice League Dark.
Melody Moore from, I guess that's Action Comics.
Yes. Was she in The Man of Steel? I think she was in The Man of Steel. So that would have been where she debuted, at least.
Man of Steel.
Robinson Good, I think she debuted in Action Comics.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
Willa Fowler from Skyward.
And finally, the rapper Etrigan.
Etrigan the Rapper.
Etrigan the Rapper from Batman Damned. That one's a joke. We'll just go ahead and
delete him.
Delete that one. All right. So
You really have a hatred for that character.
It's so stupid.
It's gonna be 20 years from now, and you're gonna think, God damn it.
Well, okay.
Sugar the Rapper.
I genuinely considered after I put it out here as a joke, being like, you know what though? I kind of love that he exists because it's so stupid.
It's ridiculous.
It's so unintentionally funny. Okay, so my nominee for Best New Character this year is going to be Ice Cream Man. I think that I literally made a last-minute choice at the last second to change it to him. I was going to go for a character who was more of a well-rounded, like, deep character, but there's something about the image of Ice Cream Man and the idea of what he represents, and this idea of, like, generally, like, I think it's kind of come, at least in my mind, how I've been coming to read Ice Cream Man is as this kind of force of negativity and pessimism in your life versus optimism and hope.
Evil indulgence.
Yeah.
Is always what I think of.
Self-destruction. Like the bad parts of yourself. And Ice Cream Man represents those things in this maniacal way. He's the image of him going around in his truck, like giving people ice cream cones that ruin their lives. It's such a unique image that works so well. This like all in white, very old timey ice cream truck driver, who is this force of evil, who just delights in ruining these people's lives. I think he is the character who is going to, stick in my mind the most. He's I think the most vivid image of a character I have in my head from any of these new characters this year.
I agree.
You also picked Ice Cream Man?
Yeah, I did.
Shit. Okay.
I had a second choice though.
All right. Well, then
my best new character.
Well, no. Well, if we both picked him, I think we can agree
he's the best new character. He wins.
Ice Cream Man is the best new character.
I just also want to give how about one runner-up?
Oh, we definitely should each nominate the runners up. We will each pick one of the runners up.
Here we go. Pam Evans from MCM LXXV.
Yes.
I think is some of the best. Like, I don't even know what to call it. Like, I think just
attitude, like something about, also talking about an image that's striking.
Yeah, what I come back to is that she's absolutely such a strong female character, and she looks so fucking badass without. I feel like more often than not, when men try and draw women who are badass and awesome, they try and make them look like so monstrous and strong and shit. And she looks fucking beautiful and just like a badass, like a real badass woman. Yeah. That's just like, I'm not gonna fuck with you. But she doesn't look like She-Hulk, you know?
Yeah,
like
she's a very different body type
than
you usually see from women in comics. They're either the very svelte, thin, traditionally beautiful woman, or they're like, if they're kind of a more
brutish,
like more masculine character in superhero comics, they're drawn more like a big muscular man.
And they're drawn ugly usually too.
But like here, she's a big girl, you know. She's a bigger woman, and yet she's still badass and tough. And something about the image of her in the cabbie outfit, with the like glowing tire iron, is the fucking craziest shit. It's so good.
Cool.
It's so cool. I love that series mostly just for like looking at her and like all the cool shit she was doing, and like she is one of the coolest protagonists this year.
Yeah.
She's probably the coolest protagonist we have this year. I mean, Ice Cream Man is the best villain we've had. Pam Evans is the most fun protagonist to watch.
And they draw her sometimes with these big eyes, like she's she's mad and it's fucking terrifying. It's like, God damn it, she's gonna kick that person's ass. Like,
yeah, and I think it's cool. It's really cool that she's a person of color. It's cool that she's a woman. She's a woman of a different kind of proportion than you're used to seeing. I think all of those things are worth commending. At the end of the day, though, it's just that fucking cool-ass image of this badass character.
That first cover is just like,
yes,
this is who I am. Fuck, like, I'm gonna kick some fucking
They
ass.
knew exactly, like, what the best part of that book was.
Yeah.
And they put her front and center on that cover. She's just so cool.
Cool. Yeah.
I find it hard to, like, say much of depth about her, because she's just cool as hell.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, all right, so if that's your nominee, I'm picking from two.
Okay.
I'm picking from two characters, and it's tough, and they're two
here,
related characters.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Okay.
I might. No, I don't want you to do a tiebreaker because I know which one you'll pick, and. It is Norton Sinclair.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's not what
I went the other way.
Okay.
I was going to do Father Fred.
Oh, really?
Father Fred was originally going to be my actual pick.
Those are not
And then I
two.
quickly switched to Ice Cream Man. And then I was between... I wanted one of them on this list as the runner-up. And I was between the two of them. And Norton Sinclair is a fascinating protagonist who is maybe slowly turning into an antagonist, but he's a fascinating character who, like, this idea that he's building the barn from garbage, like his mania with garbage is fascinating. We're getting bits of his backstory, being a child in an orphanage. You know, we're learning about his story and who he is. He's like, he is in a lot of ways the point of view character of that book, even though he's not the most relatable.
I'm absolutely always interested in what he's doing. When there's a scene with Norton Sinclair, I'm like, oh shit, okay, what the fuck's going down now? Like,
yeah. And I think it is telling that was also one that you felt very attached to, and I was always torn between picking the two of them. So
yeah.
I think that is going to be our third character.
Wow.
Best new character. All right. So, best new character, the winner is Ice Cream Man. That's surprising to me. I mean, like, I picked him, but it's still surprising to me.
I had that in my head too.
It's just, you can't get him out of your head.
You really can't. And that's part of the point of the whole series. Like, in there too. He's always there.
He's a perfect encapsulation of that idea, while not at all being obvious.
No.
Like, what a weird left turn on that.
But totally right.
But it works perfectly. Runners up, Pamela Evans and Norton Sinclair.
Oh, gosh.
So that's that. All right, we're gonna pull a little bit of an audible here, and we're gonna move on into most disappointing.
They don't know it's an audible.
I said the order of the things we're gonna do. Anyways,
that's true.
We're gonna do most disappointing.
That was 3.5 hours ago. They don't know.
Jesus. Wow. Yeah, this is a long one. So we're just gonna do one for this. Also,
yeah.
We don't need to. This is one that just, it's more for a sense of catharsis for us than for anything, and we don't need to...
Are we reading it off?
No? We are going to read off the nominees, but we're only going to pick one each and then are we going to pick one each?
We're going to do a 1, 2, 3, because I think
we're going to do a 1, 2, 3, because I think they're going to be the same one, and then we are going to pick one winner. No runners-up.
No runners up.
No need for extra hate. Just a little.
Just a little bit of hate.
Just a little bit of hate. So our nominees, we have Dark Knight's Metal.
We have Cemetery Beach.
We have Demon, Hell is Earth.
Milk Wars.
We have Wonder Woman by James Robinson.
Oh, God, I remember those. Fantastic Four by Dan Slott.
We have Drowned Earth, the crossover event in Justice League.
Ragman.
We have Death of the Inhumans.
Mostly for the last issue and the ending, the way it ended. Hawkman by Robert Venditti.
Okay.
Which we should give a chance to at some point, because I heard it's actually
I've heard people talking about how good it is.
At the beginning, it just
It was too slow. The Unexpected.
Immortal Men.
Batman Damned.
Doom Patrol.
And Doctor Strange Damnation. So.
Okay.
All right.
Ready, Doug? 1, 2, 3. Dark Knight's Metal.
It is 100% for both of us.
For amount of excitement to just not following up on excitement for us at all.
To the fucking slow turn we both took on it.
Just because, okay, I've been rereading it. I've been reading the, I had the first 2 issues on my belt. I was like, God, this was really good at the beginning. Was I just not getting it because it was like the first thing I read? I started reading the 3rd issue, and that's the one I'm going on from.
It lost us at a point.
The 3rd issue is when it's like Bruce gives some signal, like, oh no, Superman, you weren't supposed to come here. And I didn't fucking get what the fucking signal was at all. And it wasn't I have no idea what the fuck he was talking about. It had something to do with music, but you can't hear music. And I just know what I'm coming up to. And that's half of the goddamn series.
It's not that it was necessarily that it was convoluted, although it was incredibly convoluted. It's that the internal logic it used is never set up before it's implemented.
Yes.
It's all this weird sense of dream logic, which is fine, but they never establish it as an option. Mm-hmm. It's just, now we're doing this magical solution to the problem with no setup.
Yeah.
And it happens more and more frequently as the series progresses until that's the ultimate solution. They defeat the problem at the end with no setup by everyone holding hands and thinking real hard.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate it all on, like, a philosophical level, what it's trying to say, all that kind of shit. I think from a pure storytelling standpoint, from a writing, scripting standpoint, there's serious flaws in the ways in which the information is doled out to its audience in a way that doesn't make it feel like Deus Ex Machina and, like, nonsense.
Yeah. It feels like, okay, when you're trying to do something, I feel like you always want a setup and then a payoff. This book feels like it's trying to just do payoff,
payoff constantly.
I'm not getting paid.
Like, there's no sense of satisfaction when you pay off something you didn't set up. Yeah. And, there's so many things. Like, it did start off so strong. It really was. I love Scott Snyder when he's working on that philosophical level, but at a certain point, he went off the rails in terms of going too much into the metaphor and not enough on the physical story at hand. Yeah. Because he was still trying to do that, but it felt like it was such not a priority in the story anymore.
It felt like a nightmare, which was probably what he was trying to do, but it's a story still.
It didn't have enough literal story for us to grasp onto in any kind of emotional sense.
Yeah.
And also, I fucking hate the Bat Who Laughs. The Batman Who Laughs.
It's the Bat Who Laughs.
You poisoned my brain on that one.
I know.
On his name, sorry. But the Batman Who Laughs, I think, is such a redundant, useless character. I can't get into that right now. Just a small note. But
it's part of the reason why Immortal Men is even on this list, right?
Yes, Immortal Men was very disappointing because all of a sudden they started involving the Batman Who Laughs. I know a lot of people really liked Dark Knight's Metal. I've heard people talk about how great Dark Knight's Metal was, and I wish I could be with them.
Yeah.
I love Scott Snyder's work.
I love Greg Capullo.
Yes, Greg Capullo's art in that series is fantastic.
A little busy.
It gets a little busy towards the end.
Yeah.
I think they tried to do too much.
Yeah, in too short of a time. It's only 6 issues. It should have been longer, I think. Or maybe not longer. Maybe they just should have tried to do less.
Yeah, I think a lot of Scott Snyder's recent stuff has been slightly disappointing in that way, in that he needs to not try to cram quite so much into each issue, because it starts to feel very rushed. It starts to feel like there's no setup for his solutions. It starts to feel like there's no context for any of his emotional beats or anything. It's frustrating.
One other thing, and this isn't necessarily Scott Snyder's fault, but one thing that added to my disappointment also is that I wasn't aware of the role of tie-ins into events. So a lot of fucking tie-ins that don't fucking matter at all. It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
I could have told you.
I know, you did tell me.
Don't read tie-ins.
God damn it.
Don't read tie-ins unless you're already reading the book that is tying it.
That Bats Out of Hell shit. That Bats Out of Hell shit was the stupidest fucking I'm sorry. Okay, That's not even Scott Snyder's fault.
Actually angry.
I'm angry about it because they specifically set up so many things that they're about to do in the Dark Knight's Metal issue, and then when I think, Bats Out of Hell is going to be about all these people doing all these different things, that's so cool. Why wouldn't you want to read it? But then the same fucking thing happens to each person in different places. I'm done. I'm shaking.
All right. Okay, it's okay, Jack.
I hated it.
I'm patting him on the shoulder.
So much money.
Okay. Anyways, all right. So that's that.
That's that.
Our most disappointing comic book of 2018 is unfortunately Dark Knight's Metal.
Not unfortunate. It's there. It's there.
Yeah. I mean, it is unfortunate that it was so disappointing.
Yes, that's true.
All right. Our last category, let's end on a positive note, and let's end on a media-related note.
Yes.
So our one media-related, other media-related category, is Best Comic Movie.
Yes.
So this, is a little broader than just movies based on comics. So it's, it can include things inspired by comics or superheroes as well. So, for example, we have The Incredibles 2 on here.
Which isn't necessarily great movie though. We also have Avengers Infinity War.
We have, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Just Under the Wire.
Just Under the Wire. Also, only I've seen it, which
only you've seen
I'm very frustrated about. But,
I know.
You
Black Panther, we have.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And we have Justice League.
We have Justice League.
we have Justice League.
It's
there.
We have it.
It came out.
It's there.
We haven't seen Aquaman.
We haven't seen Aquaman. It would not make it onto this list.
Probably not. I mean, who knows?
There are other.
What if it's the best movie ever? What if we just are going to think it's the... Okay, never mind.
I know we should... This is a bit of confirmation bias, but I would be very surprised if it made it onto this list, from what I've been hearing about it. But, all right. So, it is your turn to go first. We're each going to pick one.
I mean, mine... For me, it's Avengers Infinity War. I think that movie, what it did differently from so many other superhero movies, just the whole story, how it happened, and how amazingly epic it feels, and the care that they take to writing each specific character, exactly how they would react to each other character, to each other situation, and just, you can't mention Infinity War without mentioning how great of a character Thanos was in it, and how clear his motivations were, and how well they were laid out. I think it's one of the best comic book movies to have come out. I love that movie. It's great, and I think the replay value is great. Replay value. That's video games.
Replay value.
The replay value. You press play on a movie.
The rewatch value?
I say replay. I'm going to say you press play.
All right, you're sticking to it.
I love Infinity War. It's great. I'm so excited for the end game.
This is going to go one way. I know exactly the way it's going to go. Mm-hmm. I have to make my pick Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I know. I knew you were going to do it because I need to see it.
I have to do it. We're going to pick Infinity War.
Because we both saw it. Because
it is a narrow margin by which I picked Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. Infinity War is an incredible movie. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse it's going to inspire animators for generations, I think. Wow. It is one of the most visually stunning movies I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. It is the most visually stunning animated movie I've ever seen. It's what it is doing in terms of bringing the feeling of comic books and a comic book style to movies, and like bringing just a new kind of feeling to animated movies. Mm-hmm. it's absolutely unparalleled, and I wish you had seen it.
I know.
But it's an incredible movie that everyone needs to see, whether you like superheroes or not. I'm sure you probably do if you're listening to this.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen it, see it. It's an incredible accomplishment of animation and of just like, how did that movie get made? I continue to be just absolutely flabbergasted by its existence, from it being a movie version of Miles Morales to involving all of the like comics-based like multiverse stuff.
Yeah,
like all these different versions of Spider-Man.
Different Spider-Man.
It is a movie with both Miles Morales and Peter Parker in it. How confusing is that to an audience? And yet they make it work in such a clear way, and they use it to the emotional beats of the movie in so many amazing ways.
Yeah,
the fact that they are both in it, it's incredible.
The word Spider-Verse is in the title. What the fuck is someone going to say about Spider-Verse?
Spider-Verse.
Like, yeah. I'm pumped. I'm so excited to see it.
It's very good. Infinity War is also an incredible, just incredible powerhouse of an emotional, like, journey of a superhero movie.
Talk about fitting so much into one singular story and not feeling rushed, or, you know what I mean? Not feeling like it's cheap or anything like that. It just feels like an amazing comic book event. And it's unlike anything else, any other movie.
Okay. So, what's our third?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, for me, I would pick Incredibles 2, probably. Black Panther. I still think Black Panther is a great movie. I just really think there was a lot of hyperbole around that. It was a great representation of African Americans in superhero film, of, you know, just a different sort of visual style as well, I think. I think it was great, but I think Incredibles 2 as, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm torn.
I might pick Black Panther, actually, because it was really, really good. It was really a beautiful movie with a great villain.
Shit. I wasn't even thinking
Do you remember
about
Michael B. Jordan in that movie?
Killmonger's so good.
Like, I'm so mad they killed him off in that movie.
I might need to go Black Panther.
It's so good.
I wasn't even thinking about Killmonger.
He's great. That final speech that Killmonger has about, let me be like the people that jumped from the boats. You know?
Yeah.
It's just so poignant. So, like, it's a movie that people need to see sometimes. Like, it's just, it's great.
It's a really refreshingly different superhero movie in terms of setting, in terms of cast, in terms of the villain's, like, message and everything is shockingly poignant and relatable.
Yeah. More so than Infinity War, in fact, actually. Probably.
I mean, definitely
He's
more
a human, so.
poignant and relatable. Thanos is fascinating, but not relatable. Black Panther should be the third one on this list.
Yeah.
Incredibles 2 is a very fun movie.
Yeah.
With some very uncomfortable Randian overtones like the first movie. It's a Brad Bird movie after all. He champions exceptionalism in people. So yeah, it's a great movie. I very much enjoy it. Black Panther is a more surprising movie. Black Panther is a better movie. It's a better movie. Yeah.
In terms of, I
thought that was going to go the other way for a minute there. I almost was going to say Incredibles 2, and then you reminded me about Killmonger.
Killmonger is such a huge part of that movie.
I have to give it to that movie almost just on that.
Yeah.
Killmonger is an incredible villain, an incredible character.
Yeah.
And he's definitely the best part of that movie and one of the best things from movies this year.
Yeah.
Wow. That's it. We've gone for just under 4 hours here.
God.
So that went much longer than we thought. This was an experiment. This is our first time doing this.
Exactly.
We'll probably plan a bit differently next year to account for the amount of time for this. But I think this was a great experience. I think we came up with some damn good lists. Like, should we list all of them off just to give the people some conclusion here?
Yeah.
So we're gonna read off all of our categories here and the winners. So we're going to go in reverse order of how we read them, building back up to our top 10 list for the year. So reminder, best comic book movie, which we just did. The two runners-up were Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Black Panther, with winning the category Infinity War.
Mm-hmm. We had a most disappointing pick, rousing... what is it? An agreement. Dark Knight's Metal. Yeah. Easily.
Easily won that. Best new character. We had runners-up Norton Sinclair and Pam Evans, and winner, the Ice Cream Man.
Oh, yeah. For best comic artist, we had runners-up Jerome Opeña and David Mack. And the winner we had was Mitch Gerrits.
All right. For best comic writer, we had runners-up Donny Cates and Brian Michael Bendis. Winner, Jeff Lemire.
For best short-form comic, meaning a story that takes place in an issue or less, we had Peter Meets a Spider from Doctor Strange number 390. We had Your Big Day from DC Nation number 0. Those were our runners-up. And then we had as our winner, The Talk of the Saints, the Tom King story from the Swamp Thing Winter Special.
All right, and then we can alternate on these. We'll start with number 10 and go down to number 1. This category is best comic series. Mm-hmm. So at number 10, Kill or Be Killed.
Mm-hmm. Number 9, we have Justice League Dark.
For number 8, Skyward.
For number 7, we have Thanos by Donny Cates.
For number 6, Ice Cream Man.
Number 5, Saga.
Number 4, Baby Teeth.
Number 3, The Wild Storm.
Number 2, Gideon Falls.
And number 1, Mr. Miracle. I'm very proud of that list.
It's still super pains me there's no Black Hammer on here, but
I know,
but this is an incredible list of really good comics this year. Mm-hmm. I think I'm very happy with it.
Black Hammer has many good years to come, I think.
Yes. I think Jeff Lemire winning Best Writer soothes that.
Soothes, yes.
Yes. So yeah, that's gonna do it for our Best Comics of 2018 episode.
Yes.
This was a 4-hour epic of an experience.
Yes.
And we hope that you've enjoyed this. We'll probably continue to enjoy this for the next few days as you listen to this. So, you're, by the time you're getting to this point, I mean, probably Happy New Year, or if you're listening to this today, Happy New Year as well, because it's New Year's Eve, so...
It's going to be the new year for, a whole year, actually.
It is going to be a new year for a whole year. And then a new year in the year after that.
Wow.
This was awesome, and we'll be back to do another show...
Next week.
This next week.
Should be fun.
So, it should be a regular episode. We'll be back to talking about books and news, and that'll be exciting.
I'm very excited. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.